Hello. Hey guys, how are we doing? We are live, and we're going to be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, Chapter 256 a little bit about the future of Yuji, his power-up, what his awakening might be, and just some of my thoughts on Megumi's return. Mustard. Nice. So, first of all, I'm gonna put a poll out. I'm gonna ask, do we think this is the... Actually, I'll wait to make this poll until we have more people. But for now, I don't really think this whole awakening situation is actually going to be the final awakening for Yuji. I think we're setting up the foundation of something greater. Bad day, guys. My GTA account got banned. That is rough, especially if you're playing GTA 5 in like this day and age. Great chapter. It was a great chapter, guys. So here, make sure the music is not too loud. Let me know if the music's too loud, guys. It's kind of hard for me to tell on my system here. You guys do think this is his last awakening? Really? It's crazy, dude. That's rough, buddy. Yeah, that is rough. Getting your GTA account banned. That's that's like one step above getting a RuneScape account banned. You guys are falling into the Sukuna Kaisen trap. Well, the thing is, with Yuji is the MC. So, like, when he pops off, it's for real. Like, if there's anyone that's going to take out Sukuna, it's going to be Yuji. But I don't think this is the finale of Yuji's power-up. I think what we're really waiting for here is just to give us a little bit of a tidbit of how Yuji is either related to Sukuna, his power is starting to manifest itself, or he is simply going to... I don't know, master the Black Flash. It's a good chapter, but the next chapter will be more crucial to the plot, at least I hope. That's what I think. I'm right there with you. Yo, Quirkless, what's up, Zero? Best chapter since Yuta versus Sukuna. Agreed. I think, like, Yuji really is putting in insane amounts of work. Them saying his output is what's keeping his punches are keeping the output of Sukuna low, even with his Black Flash. Like he is bypassing, or I should say canceling out the Black Flash output. That's insane. That's way higher than I expected. Yuji's awakening would be a transformation similar to Mahito, understanding the true essence of his own soul, the arms at the beginning. They might be soul manipulation with the arms. You're probably onto something there. Hey Maria, what's up? And Plank, you're here again, always on time. Truly a legendary moderator. Past two chapters were good in my opinion. I agree, I like Miguel. I think Miguel brought a little bit more to the whole fight than I expected. Thoughts on Yuji and Sukuna's eyes. I have many thoughts on Yuji and Sukuna's eyes. Actually, let me pull up an image here. Actually, this image might be too big for the screen. But when it comes to... Yeah, that one's way too big. But when it comes to Yuji's eyes, it really seems like Yuji and Sukuna are related. Oh my god, this thing actually took up the whole thing. 1 second, let me fix that. Let me just put the little thing in there. Nobody's really shocked if Yuji turns out to be related to Sukuna. I think everybody's been expecting as much. Some people think they don't look alike. I don't understand this at all. And thanks for the super chat, Cheesy Bread. I saw you were in here before the thing even started. I'm just waiting for Yuji and Sukuna's true one-on-one fight. We need Sukuna to get humbled. Sukuna is going to get humbled. Sukuna's that kind of guy that's just like, he's vibing right now, but this is the first step towards an actual victory. Maybe not in this situation. Personally, I think Yuji's probably going to be the vessel for the merger. Kenjaku's whole plan is having Yuji be the one that is going to coexist alongside Sukuna. I don't see how he'd ever be able to do that unless he is at the very least equally strong. Yuji about to unleash. Hopefully some black flashes, guys. Let's go. Been looking forward to this live all weekend. It's very kind of you to say, Anthony. I like the soul punch situation. Sukuna trying to cheat time found himself getting punched by a 16-year-old. Yeah, and that's the thing with Sukuna. Sukuna is pretty much trying to do this forever. The whole plan of Sukuna is live his life as long as he can, turn himself into a cursed object. He'll be robbing people like Megumi forever. And it's pretty horrific, to be honest. Like, Sukuna really is effectively immortal as long as he can turn himself into a cursed object. I'm doing a case study and also a bit of research, so once I gotta lock in, I might have to leave, unfortunately. That's fine, Plank. I appreciate you showing up at all. And you're also a legendary commentator. Commenter among all JJK YouTubers. The merger curse will be Yuji's Kurama, also high quirkless. I agree. I think the merger creature really is for Yuji, and the way they make it sound with Sukuna is that Sukuna is able to fight this thing, so it might be a raw power. It might be an extremely powerful curse, but it lacks the finesse of an actual curse spirit, like a sentient curse spirit, or a sorcerer. We'll have to see. Gege has absolutely destroyed Megumi's reputation. Yeah, I do see people are hating on Megumi all the time these days. Okay, so I'm going to put in the poll now. Do we think this is the finale of Yuji's power? Because, I mean, I assume most people are going to say no, because it just doesn't feel desperate enough to me yet. That's the biggest thing. No, yeah. First vote is a no. Yeah, without Hikari showing up, I know people say that Hikari is just not going to show up at all, but, I mean, he was in the whole list. They had him on the screen. He should come eventually. And if Hikari isn't there, I don't really see the point. Like, I don't see Yuji getting the final power-up yet. Best JJK YouTuber ever. Love you, man. Much appreciated, Cheesy Bread. And thank you for the super chat. Thanks for reading my comment, Quirkless. I read everyone's comment, unless they say something, like, totally whack. At least I try to. What are the chances of Yuji doing a soul dismantle? Soul dismantle, I didn't even think about that. It's kind of a curious thought. I know we've had the whole thing of Yuji getting Sukuna's curse technique for so long, but do we really need more hand-me-downs for Yuji? Though in the case of Sukuna, it does kind of feel like Sukuna and Yuji are just like the same person. Like my personal headcanon is that Yuji and Sukuna, they have the exact same potential. Yuji is just at an earlier point in his life. And could you imagine how proud Gojo would be to see what Yuji did last chapter? I do think the power jump is going to be massive, because look at how when Gojo and Mahito awakened, or Maki awakened the power gap. I agree. I really want Gege Akatame to just let somebody pop off for once. I'm getting a little tired of like the whole, oh, we have to have characters show up, get gassed up, and then they do nothing overall. And if anyone's going to be crazy powerful, it should be Yuji, because Yuji's like barely natural. Yuji is some crazy, like messed up experiment from Kenjaku. Really, he's Kenjaku's masterpiece, and that's what it seems like. Do you think Sukuna could start acting more feral as he gets closer to defeat? Sukuna's always kind of feral, but yeah, I understand what you mean. Probably. He's probably gonna get a little crazy. Like, if you remember in the Maharaga versus Sukuna fight in the anime, the voice actor was kind of losing their shit for a bit, so maybe we'll see something similar. Well, in my opinion, I think that Fuga is actually Yuji's curse technique Sukuna just opened temporarily back in Shibuya. Maybe, but Sukuna does call it his curse technique. Or he says, I haven't revealed my technique. So we'll see. And even if it is Yuji's, again, I think Yuji and Sukuna probably have the overall same power set. Gojo returning would ruin Yuji's moment. Yeah, I don't think Gojo's coming back. There are a lot of things with Gojo that, like, with his death, the way he talks, like him saying, oh, I'm glad I died to somebody stronger, doesn't make a whole lot of sense if he's just like, actually, no, I'm coming back right now. It seemed pretty final. He even said he died without regrets, which is really strange to say if he just comes back. Also, I don't care. People be glazing Yuta for copying. With that being said, seeing Yuji use an application of Sukuna's CT, which has been hinted at for a while, yeah, I'm all on board for that personally. I am with you 100%. It has been so long since we got like a true Yuji power up. People have been talking about blood manipulation for so long, and honestly, guys, I don't care at all about blood manipulation. Blood manipulation is such a boring ability to me. I know Choso uses it to some pretty good effect, but overall, just not a fan. Not my favorite technique. Gojo coming back would ruin 236 in my opinion. Yeah, honestly, I agree. I just think it's way too final. Like, all the things he says in that chapter sound like a guy who's ready to die. Gojo comes back as a zombie. Actually, back. He's coming back as a Mechamaru. Jumping from piercing mid to dismantle. See, you understand. And we also saw Maki almost get one shot last chapter by like Sukuna's output starts to creep back. Sukuna looks at LaRue how Gege looks at Sukuna. That's pretty funny. Quirkless, any chance that this whole Sukuna cycle was to show that Yuji is the most important character on the battlefield right now? I think the Sukuna cycle is just Gege Akutami tying up some characters they want to finish up. They want to showcase the power sets of these characters before we enter the finale. Like, where else are you going to get to see Sukuna fight Yuta's domain or something? Like, what other opportunity since the Sendai colony did we really have to see Yuta's domain? None, really. Quirkless, do you know that LaRue and Ranta have the same power? I don't know who Ranta is. I don't think it's a character from JJK. Let me Google. Is this from Fate? Actually, is it? Oh, Ranta Zenin. Man, I totally forgot about this guy. Yeah, you know, when I watched all the Zenin clan get fodderized, I didn't really write down their names, I'm going to be honest. Is solo leveling a good anime? I have no idea. I haven't seen it. Blood manipulation has to have more to it. It's supposed to be part of the big three, so if that's the case, it has to rival 10 Shadows and Limitless. I just think we haven't seen the most of that. I mean, I agree. I definitely agree. It should have more to it. It is a strong technique, and the upper limits of it should be pretty incredible. But I just don't like the fundamental idea of using your blood as a tool to fight. I don't think that's as cool as 10 Shadows or Limitless. Not even close. If you're able to grab the blood of people and like bend that like you're an avatar, that would be pretty OP. I think Yuji using the flowing red scale would be pretty cool. I think he's going to use pretty much everything eventually. I know they say he can't use the convergence yet, but we'll see. We'll see. Do you believe Yuji's Black Flash Awakening will lead to him using Cleave and Dismantle or a completely unique curse technique? I think the Awakening from the Black Flash... Well, first of all, Black Flash fundamentally gives you an awakening the first time you use it. You have a greater understanding of the cursed energy. And if Yuji masters it, he should have a better understanding than like pretty much anybody, right? Besides Sukuna. I think it's pretty in line. As for him getting the Cleave and Dismantle, I think he might unlock Cleave and Dismantle. But if he does, it's going to be like a part of Sukuna's power. I just don't feel like we're in the end yet. I feel like we're really building up to the climax. The climax of Sukuna and Yuji. But there are too many characters left alive. Or I should say, there are too many characters left active for us to have the true 1v1. Imagine if you can use the blood of curses. Yeah, blood manipulation is OP, guys. Like, I'm not gonna sleep on it. Like, it is OP. I call it piercing mid, but that's just because it's funny. What if the awakening makes it so he can use conversions by himself? I really hope it's not blood manipulation. I really, really want this to be a Black Flash mastery or something related to Sukuna. That's what I want. I know a fellow YouTuber, Eternal Flame, talked about this a while back, that Yuji is going to master the Black Flash. And the moment they tell you that Black Flash can't be done on command, and there's like this whole record for it, you know it's going to get shattered eventually. I wonder what Yuki's grandfather's ability was. It must have been something super destructive because bro looked traumatized. Yeah, Yuki, I mean, considering what Yuki had, Star Rage is pretty OP. I mean, the Yuji eating to gain power is very similar to what Sukuna's true power is, at least possibly. Oh, I'm with you 100%. Like, Sukuna and Yuji, they probably have the same power set. Like, that's where I'm at right now. I think that Sukuna is just further along in his development. I mean, just look at them. I know he's not on the screen right now, but Sukuna and Yuji, like, the parallels are almost 1-to-1 in some of these panels now. Whoops. I mean, delete that. Oops, there we go again. Yeah, they're like 1-to-1 in some of these panels at this point, which is crazy to me. Hold on. Let's remove this one. Yuji's about to hit 10 consecutively black flashes. I hope so. I want to see it get shattered, guys. I don't want any more of this, like, oh, look, 5. I know I said in my review it's like Sesame Street, where they're like 1, 2, 3, 4 for the black flashes. Just give me like 50. Make them all lose count. Make the characters on the sidelines go like, how many was that? And the narrator is like, I've lost track. That's what I want, personally. Sukuna being a vessel gaining power by eating makes sense. Yeah, especially with the way he talks. Like, Sukuna definitely talks like a guy who is on the hunt for the tasty curse techniques. What's up, Quirkless? How you doing? I'm doing great, even though it's incredibly hot in my room right now. Eternal Besties here. What's up, Eternal Flame? Jerry. Will Sukuna get the I'm you treatment? I think he will. And thank you for bringing this up, Willis, because recently, this whole fight, like the whole part where Mahito gets distracted by Sukuna, not by Sukuna, by Todo, reminds me a lot of LaRue distracting him now. We have characters on the sidelines, like watching the Black Flash go down. And Mahito really is, overall, he is the front runner. He's the original character that people usually look at when we talk about the Soul. And we still talk about Mahito to this day, because the Soul has become such an important part of the series later. And I think he was really the foundation for all of that, and that even though he's not as important now, the themes he set up still ring pretty true now, currently. In the current part of the story, Sukuna is pretty much the final form Mahito for Yuji. You think Sukuna will stop hating on Yuji once he's awakened? I don't know if you could ever get Sukuna to stop hating on Yuji, but he'll definitely have to acknowledge him if he's beating his ass. Like, I can't imagine Sukuna having Yuji's fist in his mouth and just being like, you're a nobody. Quirkless, Yuji hits 10 black flashes in a row, and Sukuna would be like, damn, you really hate Megumi, don't you? Every time you're hitting me, you aren't hitting my soul, but Megumi. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's just aiming for the wall between them, but I get what you mean. Sukuna will die proudly, though, unlike Mahito. Well, yeah, because Mahito is a cursed spirit. He's a bum. And I'm you between Yuji and Sukuna would be so peak. I mean, especially if they are literally the same person. Sukuna is going out sad 100%. I think he might go out bittersweet, because it sounds like he's going to find satisfaction in another person. Sukuna hates like Gojo fanboys glaze. Well, you see, being nice is free, but so is being a hater. Is it something akin to idol transfiguration? We'll have to see. We don't know for sure. But when it comes to Yuji and Sukuna, let me see if I can pull up an image of this. I mean, Yuji and Sukuna, the relation between these two, it's one of the greatest mysteries in Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, why does Yuji look so similar to Sukuna? Why are the panels of these two almost identical at some points? Like, there's the one panel when we see Sukuna Black Flash. It is the almost identical panel to watching Yuji Black Flash. I just don't think these are a coincidence. Especially with the nature of Jujutsu Kaisen in general, and like how characters are supposed to be reincarnates, these kinds of things. If Yuji is a truly reincarnated sorcerer, or he's made from Sukuna, I think that rings pretty true thematically, at least for me. Quirkless, I believe Yuji and Sukuna are the same soul, only split. Yuji is purely good, which is why Sukuna has fallen. I think you might be onto something. I think they might be twins. I've talked about this a lot. A lot of, like, the twin theory is pretty old. There are a lot of hints to twins in Jujutsu Kaisen. Another option is that Yuji is made from Sukuna. Like, Kenjaku had these fingers for a long time. Like, Kenjaku is the one who helped Sukuna make the fingers in the first place. So if anybody has the power to experiment with them, in the case of Sukuna, then it would be him. That panel was also a callback to Gojo's Black Flash. That's true. But I think, like, I guess you could say... I mean, that's definitely true, it was. Let me just double check, though. Let me just see here. It's like chapter 230 something. 232, I think. That's true. It is a callback. They're all callbacks. They're all identical. Do you think Kenjaku took back shots from Sukuna and started a bloodline? No, I don't think that happened, Sanchez. That's a horrifying thought. What's your top 10 bums in JJK? Number 1, Noritoshi Kamo. Number 2 would be like Geto. Actually, I put number 1 as Geto because Geto had the worst plan you could possibly make. For what purpose do you think Kenjaku made Yuji? Well, first of all, to contain Sukuna, and second, I think he made him to contain the vessel, to be the vessel for, not to contain the vessel, excuse me, be the vessel for the merger creature. Miwa is a bum in Jujutsu Kaisen, it is true. Who replied yes on the poll? It's Sukuna's alt accounts. Geto and Camo. Yeah, actually I put Geto as number 1. Not because he's like horrifically weak, even though Geto does get outscaled massively, but because Geto's plan is just so horrific. It is such a terrible plan that I can't help but feel like this guy is the greatest bum in Jujutsu Kaisen. How strong would Yuji be if he had a curse technique in the beginning? Well, it really depends what his curse technique would be. Like, if he had the terrible make 1 bullet a day curse technique, like the nerfed version of Mai's, probably doesn't help a lot. Do you think Kenjaku will come back? It was foreshadowed because of the 4th curse technique, and we never saw it. I think Kenjaku's done. I don't even think Kenjaku wants to come back as much, besides, like, seeing his own plan go off. It really seems like Yuji and Sukuna are the grand plan for him. Geto was a bum. Hanami is the biggest bum. Hanami did eat a Hollow Purple and live. That's more than I can say for Toji. Just saying. Thoughts about Sukuna reminiscing about that guy in Harima when he fought against Yuji back in the Perfect Prep. I mean, I think he was just referencing him roasting somebody. I don't think that there was a huge thing. I have to go look back. It might have more to it. I feel like Kaio Breeze talked about this at one point. Now you mention it. But I don't have like a real opinion on that one for now. Toji was a bum, but he got shit done. Yeah, he's like that bum that gets off the couch occasionally and locks in. Yuji doesn't need a damn thing except these hands. Yeah, like really, Yuji is the punch kick merchant. That's all he needs. The soul punch kick merchant. Ino was a bum. That's true. There were many bums in Jujutsu Kaisen, and there still are. I think Kenjaku will just have a panel reincarnating after the story is over. No, maybe. I hope so, because then Jujutsu Kaisen gets a sequel. Maybe. So we're going to talk about Megumi here for a second. So I have always been on the train. Megumi is going to come back. They keep showing us that Megumi is coming back. Oh, I should say they keep showing us that Megumi is alive. He is functioning. He's a little, torn apart. He is certainly depressed. But if anyone's going to pull him out of that, it would be Yuji. The only one who understands what Megumi is going through. And as long as Sukuna and Yuji are involved, Megumi is pretty much always there. I'm just curious how he's going to come back. And I want to see what you guys have to think about that, because Megumi is my second favorite character. I would say right now it's 1, 2, 3. Yuji, Megumi, Sukuna in terms of my favorites. Kaio said it was a mistranslation. The statue was John Weary terrorism. Yeah, that sounds like him. Linguistic terrorist John Weary. Sukuna is fried, cooked, and done for. It's coming eventually, for sure. Potential Man. Yeah, he is Potential Man, but you see, the thing with Potential Man is that a character like Higuruma is supreme Potential Man. But a character like Yuji and Megumi, they're actually main characters. They are the protagonist and deuteragonist, so them actually reaching their potential, it's a lot more likely. Megumi sucks. Megumi really doesn't deserve the hate, the duality of man in my own chat. Yeah, I think Megumi's great. I don't think he's very strong, but I think he's a great character, and I think he... Maybe not on his own, he is an ancillary character to Yuji, but that's kind of the whole point of him. He is the deuteragonist after all. That's pretty much the main objective. The main thing for Megumi right now is Megumi has given up the will to live, because what he was living for previously was all external. He was like, oh, I have to be here for my sister. I have to be here because I'm required to, and my dad never loved me. And then he met Yuji Itadori, who he feels indebted to because Yuji saved him. Yuji saved Megumi by eating Sukuna's cursed finger. And now it's all been flipped on their head. They are stuck in this eternal loop. Sukuna is back. Megumi has lost his sister, and he has nowhere to go. He has nowhere mentally to go left. He has no internal reason for living, and I think that's what Yuji has to give him. What's great about him? He sucks. His writing is great. And what he does for the story in Yuji. He wouldn't have Jujutsu Kaisen without Megumi. Yeah, Megumi on his own is kind of ass, I'm not going to lie. But that's why he's an ancillary character. Also, Totality Maharaga would go hard. JJK is revolutionizing how shonen stories are told and how characters develop, and I think that people who have seen many shonen just can't get past the traditional storytelling and development tropes. I think there's some truth to that. I think there is a bit of a feeling where, a lot of shonen fans do love power scaling. They do care. Gojo is popular primarily because he's cool and he's powerful. Some people do just like their powerhouse, and that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But shitting on characters just because they're weak is a little goofy to me. Kenjaku over Mahito, who's over Sukuna. I know, Plank. You are our resident Kenjaku fan. Number one Kenjaku fan. With so many soul-related CTs so far, Yaga's, LaRue's Heartcatch, Soul Split Katana, Idol Transfiguration, Nobara's, etc. Wouldn't be surprised if Yuji CT really was just soul-damaging Black Flash at Will's buff. Soul-damaging Black Flash at Will buff. Maybe. F Kamo, he is weak. Well, Kamo also has... Noritoshi Kamo has no character. His hairstyle changes more than he does. 0 feats, 0 relevance, 7 kamikaze attempts. I mean, 0 relevance is crazy to say about Megumi. That's just not true. Megumi is more relevant than 95% of characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. Megumi is the type of guy who constantly uses the most OP weapon in a video game. Yeah, but it's like the easy to use one. He uses the lowest skill cap, highest result weapon. Listen, guys, I ain't gonna sit here and defend Megumi as like a powerhouse. Okay, Megumi is a Maharaga spammer. This dude is like, hold on. Let me find the. This guy's pretty much like my final technique. Can I paste this? Just drag it in. I got a funny image here. And I'm getting screwed over by my computer right now. Jeez. Never mind, I'll do it later. Quirkless, how do you feel about Megumi starting the merger on his own and coming to his own conclusions on the future of Jujutsu world? He decides that the merger needs to happen. I don't think Megumi is going to start the merger. I don't think Megumi is, like, diabolical at all. I think he's just very depressed. Rocket launcher merchant. Yep, that's Megumi. He's a rocket launcher merchant. Maho merchant Megumi tried his best. Did he, though? Did he really try his best? Like, as much as I like Megumi, did he really try his best? He kind of, like, pussied out all the time. And he's literally in Yuji's shadow. How ironic. Megumi fell for the Drake Sword trap in Dark Souls. Yeah, that was an ancient reference. I remember doing that back in, like, 2011. I sat there in my friend's basement and I just shot that thing off the tail. Sukuna can catch a hollow purple midair, but can he catch these hands? Oh, most certainly. What's going on? We were talking about whether or not Megumi is actually a bum. I think the ongoing take is that yes, he is a bum, but he's important. Can he even still use Maharaga? Well, Maharaga's totality should go off either way. Like, nobody has actually said that he doesn't have 10 shadows anymore. It is Megumi's technique. Sukuna might not be able to use it, but, you know, if they get separated, we'll see. I would be amazed if Maharaga's totality didn't show up. Megumi's thing is saving people on his own terms. He wouldn't start genocide, assuming he is already dead, so what is bro sacrificing the world for? I agree, Plank. Like, I'm with you entirely. Like, Megumi is not a malicious person. He's just edgy. He's just edgy, he drinks black coffee, and he feels like, I mean, he's definitely depressed now. He doesn't have a reason for living, but just because he doesn't have a reason for living doesn't mean he's going to just kamikaze the entire planet. Or I should say, at least Japan. Like, starting the merger, I just feels like a crazy leap. Switch Megumi and Yuji's opponents, and Megumi loses basically all of them. I mean, Megumi is just going to pull out Maharaga against like 95% of them. He probably dies at the first one. RCT is like a special grade prerequisite these days. The OG trio is 50% Yuji, 49% Maharaga, and 1% Megumi. Yeah, Maharaga is its own character. You ain't gonna get a disagreement from me. Maharaga is him. Maharaga is like solo carrying the Zenin family. Like Maki and Toji. Maki, Toji, Maharaga are the only relevant members of the entire Zenin clan, as far as I'm concerned. I'll be making another video on Maharaga because I do want to go into it again now that we have the full feats of it and the full explanation on the wheel. Maharaga is OP. Like, Maharaga's adaptation is the best hacks in Jujutsu Kaisen, in my opinion. We don't know if Megumi was even aware of Yuji being there. Yuji didn't say anything while in there. He said something right before he punched. That is true. But we know Megumi's alive, and that's the main thing. Totality of Maharaga will be insane. It better be. Chill on Naobito. Naobito got his arm bitten off by a fish. I didn't see Toji getting his arm bitten off by a fish. That's all I'm saying. Like, you think Maharaga is losing to a single fish in that thing? I don't think so. Sukuna was right. What a waste of talent. He was right, because Megumi has a god-tier technique. And he's wasting it because he just can't get his head out of his own ass. Like, Megumi is stuck sitting there comparing himself to others the entire time. And then, like, this prodigy, probably Sukuna's twin, probably Sukuna's identical brother or whatever he may be, Yuji Itadori comes into his life and starts popping off. And then his number one dad sensei, Gojo, is like, hey, this is like the new kid on the school, and like he's way better at school than you. So I'm gonna like take him on a training sabbatical. You can go and I don't know, be depressed with Nobara for a bit. I think he lost an arm because he was helping out. I mean, that's true. Naobito did help out, but do we think Toji would ever lose an arm to a fish? I wish Murata draws Small Host sometime. I hope so. I wish Murata just drew the whole series, to be honest. I will say that Kenjaku's death and the cursed spirits being released was underwhelming. I'm with you, especially the last part of that, because the cursed spirits coming out and all just getting absolutely obliterated. Like, they got annihilated by Yuta. We didn't even see it. He just killed every single one. And like, for so long, Kenjaku fans were saying that the cursed spirits were going to be like, oh, it could be anything. He could have anything he wants. Anything could be useful. Like, you could have these crazy cursed spirits. Did you see what he pulled out before? And then Yuta just off screens, like every single one, after the only cool one we saw since Yuki's fight, got one shot by a truck. Be depressed with Nobara. Nobara died content. I'm talking about them being depressed at Yuji dying before he got revealed to be alive. And Soul super chatting. Thank you very much, man. Asking or saying Yuji's awakening happening when he's already this strong is crazy. Gojo had to almost die to do some of the things Yuji can. Oh, I think Yuji is incredibly talented. Like, when people talk about Yuji, I've seen some people call this an ass pull. Like, if you think Yuji getting a power up is an ass pull, I don't know what story you're reading. Like, honestly, I don't know how to say it to you, like, other than just go look at how they talk about him. Would you rather see a prequel or sequel for JJK? Why not both? I would take both. But yeah, when it comes to Yuji's talent it's insane. He has an insane amount of talent. Like, he truly is, like, at the equivalent point in time to Gojo and Yuji. Like, do we think a 15-year-old Gojo was, like, popping off with RCT and about to shatter the Black Flash record? I don't think so. Well, I mean, we know he wasn't going to shatter the Black Flash record. He didn't have a domain at that point. The only thing Yuji is missing right now to be absolutely goated is like a domain expansion or a domain counter. But to be honest, there's no way this guy has RCT and doesn't have new Shadow style or something. I just refuse to believe it. I know that's headcanon, but like, you're really going to tell me this guy can master RCT, but he can't pull off like a Miwa move? What do you think will happen with the last finger? I think the last finger's done. That is what is implied by Yuta. To be fair, I feel like the perfect time for Yuji to awaken was against Mahito. I kind of disagree. I think it is Sukuna, because Sukuna is the main villain for Yuji. Give him a domain. Yeah, just give Yuji a domain, please. I've seen a lot of people still put Jogo over Yuji, which is just crazy to me. Fighting Sukuna, I'd hope most of them have some form of simple domain. Yeah, they better. Like, they're actually dumbasses, and this entire month they just didn't do that. And ZB is super chatting. Thank you very much. Saying, I get that it'll be an amazing feat to pull off Black Flashes at will, but do people actually think it'll be enough? I'd be disappointed if there's not more to Yuji's awakening. I agree. Like, I really think we're just setting up more foundational work. Like, we saw this in Chapter 214. I think I mentioned this in my chapter review a bit, that, like, even though we are heading towards the Yuji awakening, it says he has awoken. A greater understanding for Yuji doesn't necessarily mean the last understanding for him. And Timothy, also super chatting, saying Yuta inevitable awakening versus Yuji awakening. I mean, Yuta kind of, like, I don't know if Yuta's going to have another awakening, to be honest. We'll see. I mean, he's definitely alive. I'd be pretty surprised if he didn't come back. And I'm on the note of Yuji's awakening. I think people are jumping the shark a little bit. I think it's a little soon to say that, like, Yuji is now at his peak. I think we're just in part 1. I think we're going to see some story stuff, especially if he is related to Sukuna here. But, like, I've seen a lot of videos, I've seen a lot of comments saying that, like, oh, Yuji is now going to, like, absolutely beat down Sukuna. I just don't think it's going to happen, guys. Like, I think he's going to clash with him. I think he's going to be very impressive. And I think we're going to get a huge moment for him, but far from the last moment. Yuji literally trained with Kusakabe. He definitely has simple domain. See, I'm with you, Rashab. I am absolutely with you. I agree entirely. If he doesn't have simple domain from training with Kusakabe, he is an absolute nobody. Like, what were you reading, dude? Like, what has this guy been up to? He's just like, oh man, thank God I have RCT because I don't have simple domain. Yuji is still cooking for sure. He's got a lot of techniques to flush out. I agree. Yuji's domain expansion being offensive is a no-brainer. In my opinion, it better be a Hikari or Higuruma-esque strong enough, at least tax-wise, to counter Malevolent Shrine. You know, I'm going to go like full crazy pill on this. I think that Yuji is just going to punch Malevolent Shrine. There was that point in the story earlier where he talks about, like, oh, what happens if you destroy that shrine in the center? And then, like, Kusakabe and Meimei give their, like, brain-dead opinion. And they're like, oh yeah, probably nothing, even though Gojo is also like, oh, that is the center of the shrine right there. So he's probably going to punch it. Like, he's probably just going to punch the shit out of it. A boxing ring domain. Yeah. Push you in the ring. Cage match. An inescapable, like, a double barrier. A barrier within a barrier. Cage match, boxing ring domain. Do you think the merger is going to happen? Oh, yeah. I definitely think it will. At least in some way. If he turns Malevolent Shrine into a crater, I'll write an apology. Yeah, he's the only one. Yuji is the only one besides Gojo who recognized that the center of the shrine has some importance. Black Flash the shrine. Exactly. If he has Black Flash on command, then he just wrecks that thing. Wouldn't surprise me if we see Sukuna showcase more power and put Yuji in a position where his faith dwindles before his ultimate power-up. Oh, I am totally with you, Rojo. And I was just talking to Eternal Flame about this the other day, that it just doesn't feel desperate enough for a final power-up. I know the situation is undeniably a problem. Like, they aren't in a good spot. But the fact that Maki is okay, the fact that Choso is more or less okay, even though he's kind of like coughing up blood right now, and that Miguel's piecing out. Because Miguel knows he'll like outskill the verse if he stays. But it just doesn't feel to me like we're quite there yet. Like, the situation isn't so bad, and a huge part of that is also because Hikari is still fighting Urame. Like, is he going to be fighting Urame? Is, like, Urame going to beat him, or he kills her? While Yuji does his final power-up, I doubt it. It just feels very strange. You're onto something, Quirkless. We don't really know how Gojo came out on top in that off-screen domain battle. We only saw Sukuna being wounded and Gojo unscathed. Forgot which chapter. No, I know what you're saying. I agree. Maybe he did punch the shrine. Maybe Gojo didn't think he had the punching power or destructive power while fighting Sukuna simultaneously to destroy the shrine. But if they get caught in Malevolent Shrine again, they're going to have like a whole squad in there. Like, it won't just be Yuji. Like, they're all going to be stuck in there. And I know people talk about Maki getting hit by Malevolent Shrine all the time because they can target inanimate objects. We'll see. Like, I know this is pure headcanon, but, like, there are occasionally retcons in Jujutsu Kaisen. I would not at all be surprised if Maki can just walk through it. I'm curious how much of the power-up Yuji got is a result of him having Sukuna's finger in him previously, or if it is just something he was innately born with. Bum Kari gonna get frozen alive. I mean, Hakari has, infinite curse energy in the jackpot. Like, he should be way less tired than Urame is. And I think that's a huge reason why they put him against her. Is that Urame, while Urame is incredibly strong, he can wear them down. He can pretty much indefinitely wear you down within this jackpot. Whatever happened to the army subplot? Oh, the army subplot's finished. They all died. Pretty much. Like, Kenjaku was just sending them in to get more curse energy for the whole Culling Games. So, like, out there somewhere, a bunch of Marines are getting cooked. Hakari is a bum. I can't lie about that. Hakari is a punch-kick merchant, but I can't say that in about 2 days, because 2 days from now, we're going to have a live stream with Jaded, and he is #1 Hakari fan. So no Hakari slander on Wednesday. Have we all forgotten Yuji was in Kusakabe's body in his soul swapping technique? I just think that's from the book. Like, we'll see where that plays into all of this. That was such a weird thing. Gege just decided to drop the army stuff. I don't think he dropped it. I think he just finished it. Like, I think he just showed, like, okay, they're coming in to die. And that's all. Like, what are they going to do? Capture Gojo when he's out? Like, they can't even capture some of the normal-ass sorcerers. I mean, Yuji kicked a flashbang into them. Quirkless, how much stronger would Yuta need to get to validate Geto's plan? Because it's going to happen since Volume 0 is retroactively being upscaled. I was thinking about this with the way that, like, LaRue and Miguel are so strong, are so much stronger than anybody thought they were going to be. And the whole way we have these characters, like, Geto's whole plan was to take Rika and go body Gojo. Like, he has a much higher chance of winning. Maybe he could. Maybe Geto could have done it at that point in time with that 1 year ago Gojo. Because that 1 year ago Gojo hasn't even shown, like, some of the feats that Shibuya Gojo did. But it's such a leap. That's the biggest thing. Like, I really feel like Geto is just a victim of being an early villain. And, like, now LaRue and Miguel are, like, kind of outscaling him, which is just insane. Hakari is a bum, can't lie. Bum Kari. Damn, the Hakari slander is crazy. It's only because Urame doesn't have, like, a ton of insane feats right now. They're just, like, ice spammer. But, like, if we actually saw their fight, I'm sure they'd look stronger. Takava gave us a Nurse Jaku, and LaRue gave us... yeah. Sukuna was definitely getting rizzed by LaRue. Do you think Toto would be helpful right now? I think Toto's always helpful. I think Toto's Boogie Woogie is actually cracked. Like, you could probably kill Sukuna with Boogie Woogie if you're smart enough. I was also feeling like, if you really want to kill Sukuna, or you want to stop Sukuna for a bit, give him the, chop up the inverted sphere of heaven to, like, a bunch of, like, fine powder, put it as, like, some seasoning for food, and get that shit in his bloodstream. You get that inverted sphere of heaven in his bloodstream, take away his curse technique for a bit. You guys feel me? If they even had that thing anymore. The army couldn't even beat Goat Helicopter Man. Yeah, I don't know what army, like, Lieutenant General Gary Johnson was cooking up by thinking they could body Gojo. Toto and Megumi both definitely coming back. I think Megumi's way more likely to come back than Toto. But Toto, if he comes back with an RCT hand, I mean, Yuji did learn RCT in the past month. The possibility of him having regrown his hand is crazy. But the biggest thing for me is that if they did have Toto, why would he not have shown up already? Especially when Yuta, like, it sounds like they are on their last group. Miguel is supposedly the unexpected backup. Like, they're down to their last people. And Yuta didn't even tell them about him for some reason. Who would even get Maharaga's totality? The rabbit escape, the escape rabbits, the frogs, basically everything else is destroyed. I mean, I'm assuming that when it comes to the Maharaga totality, it's probably just the totality of like all 10 shadows. Like, it's not exactly going to follow the exact same rules as the other ones. Like, 10 shadows has some secret bullshit in it. That's my headcanon. Todo is following Takada-chan's press run. Yeah, he's too busy. He's after that, he's after that K-pop. I thought you can't RCT idle transfiguration. You can. Or, like, I should say, you can heal the soul with RCT, but, like, depending on the level of transfiguration, it might just be too much and you die. I'd have to go look back, because it does sound like Mahito thinks Sukuna can heal it initially. You have to have an understanding of the soul, though, but even then, idle transfiguration, it sounds like Yuji says previously, if you're idle transfigured, you're just dead. Like, it is the permanent death. What are your percentage odds for the return of Megumi, Todo, and Nobara? For Megumi, like 100%. For Todo, maybe like 20%. For Nobara, like 5%. Actually, like 1%. I don't think she's coming back. Like, Nobara would have to be actually cataclysmically powerful to do anything at this point. Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe she could do more. She does have a pretty good technique for this one part. Transfiguration is a reshaping of the soul, not the damaging of the soul. You will not heal that. Yeah, that's what Yuji was talking about. Though it does sound like Mahito thinks it's possible. Back when he does it to Junpei, and Yuji is begging Sukuna to help him. Yuji, Todo, and LaRue will go crazy. They will fold so many sorcerers. I mean, I think LaRue's gone, guys. Like, I don't know about you guys, but LaRue was looking like he needed help, like a stretcher at this point. It changes your soul, so healing it won't do anything besides the soul, because the soul is fine. I mean, I'm curious how it would work if you're an incarnated sorcerer. Like, if you were to idle transfigure a sorcerer like Yuji, because they get combined a little bit, and then Sukuna incarnates onto the idle transfigured form, does he just, like, go from Hippo to, like, four-armed Hulk Man? The 10 Shadows technique can be used a lot more than it has, in my opinion. It feels like Gege gave us a taste of its viability when Sukuna fought Yorozu. Seems like a loss to not have Megumi use it fully. Yeah, I think 10 Shadows is safe for Megumi. Like, the way Sukuna used it was pretty much just Agito Maho spam. And that's all he really wanted it to be. Mahito was just inexperienced. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Yeah, Jogo does correct the statement, Plank. You're correct. You are correct. I'm even looking at it right now. Sukuna could have probably healed Junpei, but it would have exhausted Sukuna at that point in time. I don't think he could. I mean, maybe they could. Like, maybe they are all wrong, and there is a way to change the shape of your soul without idle transfiguration, at least if it's you. Like, if it's your body. Not other people's. I don't know, maybe Yuki's book says something on it. Megumi come back confirmed until we see the complete Chimera Shadow Garden, his true potential, and his true domain, and his final trump card. Yeah, I agree. Like, Megumi, people were saying for months during the Gojo versus Sukuna fight that Megumi is dead, he's brain dead, he can't do anything, and they've been wrong every single time. So, like, and they're still saying he's not coming back, which is just crazy. Like, they don't show us him for no reason. If Megumi wasn't coming back, they wouldn't show him in Sukuna over and over and over. It just wouldn't happen. A question like that, if Sukuna does a double punch, like when he donated Choso, do you think it'll be 2 black flashes or 1 big black flash? Probably 2, because a black flash occurs from the microsecond of a cursed energy hit with a physical impact. So if you're having two physical impacts, it should make two distortions in space, assuming they're both black flashes. Madoka Deer got me hyped at the possibility in a big fight. Oh, Madoka Deer is like a weird fucked up animal thing. It's a real deer. Like, I was completely shocked, and I'm pulled up. Maybe some people don't know. It's a real animal. There is a deer that is in fact that disgusting looking. Where is it? It's like 218, right? Yes, where is it? There's some ancient chapters. I'll pull up the Madoka Deer for a second either way. This thing, I know it like kind of died. We didn't even get to see one of the other Agito things, like the tiger, the one tiger he has. It just got like put in the whole squad. Like, Sukuna is such a monster. He doesn't even give us the reveal of a new Shikigami. He just takes the tiger and just chimeras it and then kills it. I just want to see Sukuna get his Haiten spear back. Oh, me too. The Haiten, the Trishula, the ancient weapon of Shiva, should definitely be incredibly OP. Like, where the hell is this thing? He gets the Kamitoke back, but we don't get to see the spear. Especially since the spear is supposed to be like the strongest weapon in all of Hindu mythology. That thing's gotta be cracked. Maybe he stores that one, like, particularly in his shrine. I can't find this stupid deer. Yeah, Tet and Shadows are kind of like nonsense. Like, you get a deer, you get a toad, you get a rabbit, and then you just have like an Elden Ring boss at the end, just out of nowhere. Here, let's take off this one. Madoka Deer, low-key nice, bro. Yeah, Madoka Deer is pretty cool. Like, having your own RCT, and it's also a lot better now because the Madoka Deer is an external device for your RCT, and now we know that having RCT of your own, your output can drop, but the Madoka Deer, that thing just keeps on trucking. Like, imagine you have the deer in your shadow, and you can just, like, dip in occasionally to heal. That's OP. It's incredibly OP. Basically, though, it would work on the whole soul of an incarnated sorcerers, as Mahito couldn't transfigure Yuji without Sukuna having to intervene. Well, yeah, but that's also because Sukuna is OP. Like, Mahito can't even, I mean, that's true, but I'm more so thinking, I get what you're saying now, I'm more so thinking that Sukuna, if he incarnates, like, if he puts his soul in the forefront over Yuji's, and Yuji got hit with the idol transfiguration, would that change anything? I mean, we'll never know. I assume not, but maybe. Could the spear be inside his black box? Oh, definitely. I think it's a possibility for sure. Especially since shrine, like the idea of a shrine, is supposed to be like a storage for weapons, not just a place of worship. Yeah, Trishula is the strongest weapon in Hindu mythology. Only Vishnu's chakra can rival Shiva's Trishula. Yeah, that's what I was reading about. So I'm like, whatever curse technique, because we know in Jujutsu Kaisen, and here, let me see if I can find an image of it. We know that in Jujutsu Kaisen, the whole cursed objects they have, the cursed tools, the special grade ones at least, have a cursed object, have a cursed technique imbued into them. So, like, what is such an OP curse technique that Sukuna would want to use it in, like, a giant spear? Gotta be crazy, because in mythology, the whole Haiten, the whole Trishula is supposed to be, like, this unstoppable weapon. It cannot be, like, once Shiva throws it or stabs with it, it cannot be stopped. So I've always wondered before if, like, that's how he was going to get through Infinity, using a curse tool. Or if this is like another option he had. Here, the Ancient. It's insane to me that people kind of wrote these things off for a while. The old volume cover. Yeah, so that thing should be OP. Quirkless, do you think that the black box was just a sensor for Sukuna's CT name Shrine and full line would be Open Shrine? Well, Fuga... Well, it might be Shrine, but like I don't really see the point in censoring the whole name for his technique. But we'll see. Like, it was definitely a censorship. Like, that much is confirmed. But the whole, like, Fuga itself, the word Fuga is a chant for open. It's like, it's a, like, kind of like cracking open the magical box. Wasn't a 10 Shadows Shikigami being summoned using your curse energy? Would that limit Madoka Deer's RCT output? 15 finger Sukuna is an outlier, but normally wouldn't that just remove the stress of visualizing blood vessels? I mean, you would have to use your curse energy for sure to summon it, but like I imagine it kind of, if it was that pathetic, like if RCT Deer was that pathetic, either like, okay, the options are RCT Deer, Madoka Deer is just some like little, is like a training wheels thing for bums, or it's just a RCT option for your totality. Because we saw in Sukuna, he put in Chimera Beast Agito, which I will pull up an image of, because there's actually a pretty nice drawing of this one. Chimera Beast Agito is imbued with the Madoka Deer, so it gets like its own RCT, which was a bit of a pain in the ass for Gojo. Meanwhile, Maharaga just has the Dharma Wheel, so it's OP. Dharma Chakra OP. Where is this one? I really gotta make these folders better. Is this it right here? Damn it. I'll get it, guys. I'm committed to this one. Let's read chat for a second. In Hindu mythology, Lord Shiva uses his Trishula only when he's super angry or serious. Interesting, Zero. I didn't know that part. I am not a Hindu mythology expert, but if it is only when he locks in, well then there you go. That's the answer. Open sesame. Yeah, that's what he says. It's open sesame, guys. You heard it here. 10 Shadows, 10 Shadows. I almost don't want to make a Megumi video sometimes about like how strong he's going to be, because I know like 95% of the comments are going to be potential man. And like they're right. They are right. He is potential man, but where did I put this thing? 10 Shadows. I cannot find where I put this image. Here, let me just pull it off the internet. Perfect. Chimera Beast Agito about to be on screen in 2 seconds. There we go. Check out the Twitter page for the guy who made this. Should be in like the little watermark. Where is Panda and Inumaki's curse speech would have been really useful when Higuruma was on the field. Well, if you yell curse speech at Sukuna, you probably just die instantly, unless you're Yuta. But as far as Chimera Beast Agito is concerned, this thing was like, what, a good 70% of like the remaining curse spirits that Sukuna had. I mean, I don't think he put the bull in it. It was just Nue. It had Nue. I have to go reread it, but it had Nue. It had the Orochi Beast. It had Divine Dog Totality. And it had the Tiger with the Deer. I think that's right. I might have added one or too few. I like how 10 Shadows can be used to jump your opponents, and on the other hand, Infinity protects you from getting jumped by a group. I think 10 Shadows is so much more interesting than like a limitless barrier. Like having a giant, like what is effectively a giant shield wall around you is just like, that's no fun. Like it's fun if you want to wank, you know, if you want to like be like, oh man, this character's so strong. But like as an actual combat ability, it's not my favorite. It's like if Master Chief's shield could just never get broken. It had the tiger, but not the dog. Yeah. I'll have to go check back. It's been a little bit. It's been a minute. I haven't even made any 10 Shadows content in a while, so I haven't had to reread these. But 10 Shadows is my favorite technique in Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, the tiger we never get to see, the Morning Star tiger. Can you believe this guy Sukuna just brought this thing in to like murder one of its only unique parts we haven't seen yet? You seen the eclipse? I can't see it from my house, unfortunately. It had the tiger, but not the dog. Gojo was that kid on the playground that says force field. Yeah, dude, this guy. Force field is lame. Force field is banned for a reason. With this treasure, I summon Rabbit Escape. Rabbit Escape's actually OP, though. When Lord Shiva gets angry, the whole cosmology shakes. And in Hindu mythology, the cosmos is way bigger than any other mythologies. Interesting. I'll actually have to look into this. You know, for the longest time, I thought that we see with Miguel and his black rope that him having foreign cursed energy, or like my assumption is that foreign cursed energy is what disrupts the techniques of Japanese sorcerers. Because when Toji pulls out the inverted spear of heaven and he's bringing it along, he's like, ah yes, even your 6 eyes can see the foreign cursed energy coming off of this tool. So I'm like, okay, well, if all the barriers in Japan are making this bubble effectively for Japan and all of their sorcerers, then it makes sense that a use of cursed energy from a alternative place outside of Japan that doesn't use the same foundation might disrupt things from Japanese sorcerers. Miguel, a fraud. No, Miguel just left, guys. Miguel showed up, hit Sukuna once, watched his friend get black flashed, and then left. You think cursed energy output matters while Sukuna's summoning a Shikigami? If not, then Sukuna's Maharaga should be on par with the Shibuya one. They do say that the power of the Shikigami, this is a very old quote, and it's like in reference to Junpei from Mahito. They say the power and size of your Shikigami is relative to the power of the sorcerer, and we see this with Nue, that he makes Nue just this giant kaiju. So Sukuna definitely has a greater influence over the Maharaga than Megumi does, it seems. Or I should say the Shikigami. And I assume, like, Maharaga's feats get way better than they were in Shibuya. Like, anime notwithstanding. I'm reaching my peak power with this solar eclipse. Sukuna better watch out. It is a big event, guys. But, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a humbug. And, like, I don't really care too much about the eclipse. I decided to stream over it. Even if I could see it. The other shit he does, though, is fire, blue, red, purple, and teleportation. Shit is lit. I mean, I'm really not the biggest fan of Gojo's technique. I'm gonna be honest, the hot take, I know. I still think it's cool. I mean, I should say I think it is cool. I think it is more complicated. I wish more techniques in Jujutsu Kaisen were as complicated as Gojo's. But unfortunately, it's like we just have 10 Shadows and Limitless for now. So basically, if Megumi summoned Agito, it would be tiny as fuck. It might not be tiny, but it might just be a bum. If he could ever even summon that thing. Drew Shikigami with little Dharma chakras. Hakari has been fighting Urame for 6 months. Yeah, but the Hakari engine never ends. Like, if you look at the Hakari fans on, like, Twitter or other areas, you'll see that these people, they are just desperate for this guy to come out. They are waiting for it. Like, Hakari's moment is coming, everybody. Watch Hakari drop in right before the Malevolent Shrine pops off. Did you know, Quirkless, there was another sorcerer school in Japan? There are 3 schools in Japan. I feel like I vaguely remember this. I know there's the Kyoto school and the Tokyo school. That should be it, right? Kyoto and Tokyo. Well, where's the other one? The 3 sorcerer schools in Jujutsu Kaisen. The Tokyo and the Kyoto one. Man, even this one only lists them there. Interesting. You know, they don't pump out enough students, I'm gonna be honest. Like they're really lacking a reasonable number of sorcerers for how long these things have been active. I also don't know at what point in time they decided to have all of these sorcerers just completely piss off and wear these black suits all the time. Like, who at the agency was like, all right, guys, we're all men in black now. We have to wear black suits, except for, like, Gojo. Like, Geto and Gojo were, like, chill. Geto wore a robe after he dipped out. Gojo wears his, like, larger school uniform. Like, you know that shit's tailor-made because he's, like, 6'2". Like, where are you gonna get, like, a school uniform for a 6'2" Gojo without a tailor? That's all I'm saying. Hakari will tank Shrine, 99% faith, 1% chance. I mean, I have faith. Like, a lowered output Sukuna, I'm curious. I was actually just thinking this today, shower thoughts, about whether or not the output, like your overall output, before you imbue your technique into your domain matters. I feel like it should. Like, if Yuji just puts Sukuna on blast, and he puts out a new Malevolent Shrine, the Malevolent Shrine might be weaker than the one he used against Gojo. Like, there are a lot of ways they could have the characters get out of MS. They have even less adult sorcerers actually available. Yeah, most of them just, like, pieced out. And it really seems like 99% of the sorcerers in Japan are just, like, total nobodies in this era. Clans just chilling at home streaming the fight. Yeah, like honestly, this is the most ridiculous thing to me. I know that nobody wants to fight Sukuna. But, like, what other option do you have? Like, he's going to drop a kaiju on your whole country. It's mentioned in Volume 0. Oh, it's been forever since I read Volume 0. I don't even think I have access to it right now, unless I went to, like, some sites that I would never use. Never, ever. I would never, ever go to, the separate sites away from the Shonen Jump official magazine. Well, the Zenin clan is wiped out. Gojo clan was literally just Gojo. Yeah, that's what it feels like. And I don't know what the Camo clan is doing right now. The Camo clan is doing what they've always done, which is nothing. Choso having a domain expansion? I hope not. I mean, maybe. And there was a guy who's even above higher up. What is the third school doing? Yeah, if it was only mentioned in JJK 0, I doubt we're going to see it again. That's my official take. Let's get my... Toji was probably running around killing all the monstrous sorcerers a while ago. Yeah, Toji just going on the hunt for all, like, the actually strong people. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to just eliminate all of our hope. Camo was gone when Kenjaku took over. That is true. He was, like, sitting there looking awfully smug when Noritoshi Camo walks in. Does implying you need to imbue your technique to your domain imply that you can expand your domain without a technique? That's what I always figured. Like, I don't remember. It is a reflection of your soul. I think it is implied. Like, what you're imbuing into your sure hit is the barrier itself. Like you're imbuing your sure hit into your barrier. Like, the sure hit effect comes from, if I remember correctly, it comes from the actual barrier, not the outer shell, but the barrier itself. I know it's very confusing. Like, for some reason, barriers, like, a barrier is a barrier, but a barrier can be, like, an invisible thing, like an open barrier that's just like a giant veil you can walk through with no visual representation. Or it can have this outer shell you have to crack through. I feel like that blood manipulation... I feel like that blood manipulation... Oh my god, can I English? I feel like a blood manipulation for the big clan is weird. It's so underwhelming. I imagine that it must have a secret behind it. The secret is that it's a little side upgrade for Yuji. I got tongue twisted on that one. Wouldn't that just be a barrier technique? It is just a barrier technique. effectively. But like, if there's more to a domain expansion, because a domain expansion is the reflection of your own soul. And we even saw like the cursed spirit, the finger bearer, made like a little domain of its own, and the finger bearer was using raw cursed energy. That's its weapon. Blood manipulation. Words are tough. Yeah, words are hard, guys. That's why I only read picture books. Because that's why I'm a Jujutsu Kaisen fan, because I can't read. I'm headed out. Later, everyone. Have a good one and drink water. Agreed. I must drink water. And thanks for showing up, Tiberius. Have a good one. Tiberius, go to Jujutsu Kaisen YouTuber. You guys should check him out if you haven't. Do you think Yuji will get his own original CT? And if so, what? I don't think he will, to be honest. I think he's going to get a bunch of hand-me-downs. I just look at the pictures and watch YouTubers. Same. Same, guy. That's why my videos are always late, because I have to like have Kyle Breeze explain everything for me. I have to ask Fake Weave like what anything means. Do you think Yuji will have a domain expansion? Personally, no. Like, I don't really think like, I don't know. Maybe. I've never liked this might be a super hot take, but like Yuji popping out with a domain expansion just feels so weird to me. Like, I just don't like it. I don't know why. Like, it's just like my own hang up. Yuji has been awaked. Yes, he has. A Gojo shirt is my most upsetting plot hole. That seems like a personal problem, TPG. When is the gang collabing again? I will have Jaded on stream 2 days from now. That's already set up. I can really just call up Kaio at some point here. But I've been kind of, differing schedules. Kaio Breeze is in a different time zone than me. So sometimes it can be a little difficult. I was trying to set up a podcast for a while, but like we have to find the members. Probably like Eternal Flame. I might ask Jaded if he wants to do a podcast. Jaded seems like he has some pretty interesting takes and pretty different takes from me. So maybe it'll be good. Maybe I'll ask him. We'll check it out. I don't know if anybody wants to see that though. Yuji hitting domain is like Megumi hitting Black Flash. Yeah, it feels odd, doesn't it? Megumi can have one, but the MC can't. Like, you see, the thing with Megumi and Yuji is that Megumi having a domain, he can kind of just carry Yuji in that aspect. Like, I really want them both to jump his ass. Collab with the Honored Ones podcast. Unfortunately, the only people I really don't know in JJK YouTube is like Broken Ronin. I've talked with him one time, and that was like 8 months ago, like almost a year ago probably. But like everyone else, like JJK YouTube is pretty tight knit. Like all the YouTubers know each other, even like small and big ones. The JJK YouTuber community is united. It absolutely is. As long as you have a Hikari fan in there, okay, then we definitely have to get Jaden involved. He seems chill. I think, yeah, Broken Ronin is chill. I know No Operator is pretty good friends with him, I think. Are your expectations of Megumi returning still firm? Oh, absolutely. Like, they haven't shifted at all. It's just going to be a bit. Would the podcast be just anime or anything y'all want to talk about? I would love more yapping. I mean, it's me, so it's probably going to be yapping. Like, there's no off switch. It took me years of training to, like, subdue myself in public. But, like, on the internet, there's no, it's all hope is lost. Need a collab with Alonzi. Oh, definitely. That's for sure coming. I know Kaio just did one with him, too. He's a great guy. Yeah, it seems like everybody. I also recently met through Zonin a manga animist. Maybe he's down for something one day. We'll see. He's also a cool dude. Official translation will have shit wrong. Been like that for 2 years now. It always does. Like John Weary really is a linguistic terrorist. Yapcast is welcomed. Good. I'm glad. You know that guy with the pencil? He makes like hour-long chapter review videos. I was actually asked to do a collab with him recently too. So yes, I do know that guy with the pencil. Yeah, Flame is pretty good friends with him, I think. What did Kenny create Yuji for other than a vessel for Sukuna? I think he's a vessel for the merger. Like he's there to coexist alongside Sukuna. So him being the merger vessel, like the only way to bring him up to the proper level is him being the merger vessel. That sounds pretty interesting to me. Especially when it's implied by Sukuna that he can body the merger creature. John Weary is the true villain of JJK. Yapcast is a goated podcast name. Actually, hold on. You might be cooking. Well, if it isn't Quirkle Shinobi, the loudest yapper from the Heian period, will we see him use this domain expansion, endless yapping? Oh, you know it. Yeah, the good thing about a podcast is that there's no limit to how many you can do, so I'm sure I'll be collabing with quite a few people. And honestly, collaborating with other people is what keeps me doing YouTube, because after a while, like maybe if I was like truly fucking money hungry, I would be doing like uploads 24/7, but like the thing that really keeps me going is the collaborations with people who like the content. Because being part of a community, and I feel like this is true for like a lot of things, is like being part of a community, surrounding yourself with people who want to keep doing the thing you're doing, keeps you doing the thing you're doing. Did I talk about Yuji's eyes yet? Yeah, we mentioned them briefly. I think Yuji like literally is Sukuna. Like I think Yuji and Sukuna are just the exact same person genetically. And Yuji's just at like a less deformed point in his life. Or like whatever Sukuna did to become the four-armed demon man. Or like either he's a twin. Even if Yuji is a twin of Sukuna, he's still like genetically identical. I think they're the same person. That's where I'm at. Like I think Yuji is just a young Sukuna. And it'll also explain why Yuji is such an unbelievable prodigy. After like what? Like 6 months in Jujutsu? Wait, so you know Talk no Jutsu? Oh yeah, Talk no Jutsu, dude. That was the first jutsu I learned. How much you want to bet Yuji beats up Sukuna for a bit just for Sukuna to body him again? Oh, that's exactly what I think is going to happen. I think Sukuna is totally going to win again. But not until he sees some very alarming things from Yuji. Like, Sukuna will fight Yuji. Yuji will show him that, like, there's something a little bit broken about him. Sukuna will once again ignore it until it is so bad that he is getting his ass beat. Because that seems like Sukuna really has the mental blinders on when it comes to Yuji. Hello from Russia, and thank you. I didn't even know I had Russian viewers, but hello from America. Thanks for watching. What if it's his twin? Oh, I hope so. I think thematically, Yuji being Sukuna's twin adds so much to their relationship and so much context to the whole story that a reread would be amazing. Like, can you imagine rereading Jujutsu Kaisen with the knowledge that Sukuna and Yuji are twin brothers? Everything feels different. Especially since the idea of Gojo Satoru training the brother of Sukuna. I just like that. Like, he is the son of Kenjaku and the brother of Sukuna. It would be pretty interesting. At least for me. Hey, hello from Brazil. What I missed. What's up, Truck Hun? Fucking Truck Hun. We're just talking about Yuji's eyes. The whole eye shift really has me thinking that Yuji is just, he's unlocking the parts of Sukuna. Like he's unlocking part of Sukuna in him. He's already like completely submerged in his cursed energy. Like something took Sukuna to this level of enlightenment. Like Sukuna is so ridiculously OP. He's so ridiculously OP, and it can't have just happened out of nowhere. That him having this own enlightenment previously, like I feel like what Yuji just unlocked, and like his eyes changing this way, is similar to like whatever Sukuna may have done in the past. What color are your eyes, Quirkless? They are like what, Hazel? How would you feel about Yuji potentially being able to control the blood in Sukuna's body because they are the same person, so they have identical blood? That would be fucking crazy. But maybe. Hello from New Orleans. What's up, Tiberius? I thought you left. What's up, China Doll? Thanks for hopping in. And hello, St. Valentine. I didn't say hi to you earlier. Sometimes my greetings are terrible. Also, sometimes I run out of breath trying to reply to comments. Are you white? I am. I am German. Not literally, but like kind of. Well, actually, I am literally German. I take that back. I am a German citizen, but like only never been there though. Only through my mom's side. My meeting got canceled, and I never leave. That's a true champion you are, Tiberius. Well, let's see. I'm pretty sure his eyes looked like that when he fought Sukuna after he took over Megumi as well, when he walked through slashes. Yeah, it seems like whenever Yuji locks in against Sukuna, his eyes shift. And they look very similar. You don't sound German? Yeah, because I'm only American. My mom was German. Like I've never been. I'm just like what they call I'm an honorary German. Do you have feet? I do in fact have feet. I know. A shocking revelation. Quirkless inherited both the limitless yapping and the 6 vocal cords. Yeah, it's true. It's true, guys. I know I'm a yapper, okay? That's just a fact of life I had to like come to terms with. Face reveal. I probably could. Let's see why not. I remember the story of Kashima's wife, the story of Kashima's wife about to shoot you. Yeah, you know, sometimes crazy farmers down my road, I just have to be that way, you know? No way you have feet. Prove it. Alright, guys, it's getting weird. Do you have hands? No. Unfortunately, no. I type with stumps. Do you have 2 feet? No. Sukuna didn't eat Yuta. He'll probably eat Yuji, and then they'll fight internally. And we'll see Yuji's domain. Do you read Blue Lock? I have not read Blue Lock. I don't like sports anime. Like I don't care how gassed they make the sports anime. The last sports anime I watched was like Prince of Tennis in like 2004. I even used to play tennis like way back in middle school. Before I realized I liked video games more than the outdoors. Hear me out. What if Kenjaku injected Yuji with Sukuna's cursed energy in the womb, and that's why they are similar, and Yuji is such a good vessel? Well, Yuji being like this OP vessel has this physical body that is incredibly OP. It is a very strange thing. It's a point that they make, and even if we take Gojo's racism out of account, that he's saying like, oh, if you have like a physically stronger body and you put cursed energy into it, like that should still be true. Like if you have a physically strong body and you add cursed energy on top of it, you should be stronger than somebody who's like Yuta and has to like he has to bring his body up to par with purely cursed energy, but Yuji's starting point clearly matters. And that also explains why Sukuna is so incredibly OP, because nobody's body is physically stronger than Ryomen Sukuna's four-arm form, as far as I'm concerned. Like, who else would it be? Like, this guy's a Hulk. He's like a 7-foot tall demon man. I'm kind of curious to see, like, if I were Mahito, okay, I would have, like, made Jogo just, like, the most shredded, hulking thing if that were true. Just, like, make all the disaster curse spirits just these super buff dudes. Because if your physical build matters prior to curse energy, then just all become Goliaths. That's my personal take. Just make Jogo a bodybuilder. You don't think Maki's tougher? Well, Maki is a heavenly restriction. She doesn't even buff herself with cursed energy. That's a little different. Like, I think Maki, if you were to add cursed energy on top of Maki or Toji, obviously they're at the top. But, like, as far as, like, a normal human being, I say normal human being with 4 arms is concerned, that would be him. Damn, Quirk was getting his heartstrings pulled by Heian form Sukuna. Buff Jogo is a wild image. Yeah, dude. You guys ever seen Joe Goat? You ain't seen him yet. He's like, Mahito, hit me with that Tremboloni sandwich. They got it, Chief. Pops on in. Shredded. Jogo has a sleeper pill. Yeah. But Yuji proved that wrong, being stronger than Todo. Well, Yuji's also, like, physically stronger than the world's greatest athletes, so I don't think that's necessarily true. His body's OP. Like, Yuji is inhumanly strong in base with no curse energy. He's like a weird fucked up experiment. He's already breaking, like, the national records in high school. Why are you streaming this during the eclipse? Because I'm a humbug. I guess. I mean, I don't really care about the eclipse, guys. Like, I maybe some people do. Okay, maybe I'm just weird, because my dad was saying the same thing. They're like, what, you don't want to see the eclipse? They called me on my phone. And I was like, I mean, you know, I gotta stream. What can I say? Y'all haven't seen my 4-arm form. Yeah, Tiberia's 4-arm form goes hard. Why do Chimera Beast's arms look like Yuji's? I think it's just because he has, like, the... I mean, it's just a claw hand. It's a bird hand, really. It looks more like a talon. Berserk mentioned. Berserker's always mentioned eventually on this stream. Heian era Sukuna versus Miguel. Who does Gojo think has stronger base strength? I mean, it's gotta be Heian era Sukuna, right? I mean, Heian era Sukuna is an absolute Hulk. Though Miguel does kind of just shit on the disaster curses in the short term. Really, the Black Rope... Miguel with the Black Rope buffing himself while being insane in base and taking away your technique partially. Like, the Black Rope really brings it all together. Unfortunately, he used it all against a guy he later teamed up for, which is kind of stupid. The Eclipse is an outer domain shell. Gege put it up as an advertisement for the last chapters. Yeah, the last time an Eclipse happened was, like, I was reading Berserk. Okay? So, I ain't going near no Eclipse, okay? If I see, like, a big bloody pool, I ain't walking in that direction. That's all I'm saying. Bro, I left the Eclipse just to watch you. That is actually, like, generational. Literally generational. Appreciated, but if you want to go see it, like, I can't blame you. I can't see anything anyways. Yeah, I can't see anything from my house either, so... Do you think Sukuna is getting his domain back soon? And if so, who's gonna get caught by it? Everyone's probably gonna get caught by it. Like, we're gonna be on the mini arc, Escape from Malevolent Shrine in Little Tokyo. Imagine Yuji using blood slashes. I just want him to use an actual dismantle. None of this, like, squirt gun shit. No more of the, I demand a true usage of his power set. I want him to have the hand-me-down technique from Sukuna. Not some, like, shit-tier clan. Not like this giant bum clan. Because the Camo family, they don't do shit, okay? Like, Gojo clan and the Zenin family, even if the Zenin family is carried by Heavenly Restriction and a giant, like, fuck-off demon monster, not demon monster, but, like, you know, divine general, that's still better than, like, oh, dude, look at this, like, really sharp squirt gun I can use that does nothing the entire series. Yuji is effectively a heavily restricted user who can black flash and even do it at will. It's definitely getting there. Yuta's cleaves didn't do shit, by the way. Yeah, it didn't. But I guess that's because Yuta's just too fucking weak. I'm kidding. Sukuna domain versus Sakari, maybe. Like, that really seems like the most logical thing. Projection sorcery is cool, though. Projection sorcery is just, like, worse super speed to me. Like, I'd rather just be ridiculously fast than have, like, this weird roundabout way of being fast. That's just me. I know that, like, there are some other there's some more utility to the projection sorcery that you wouldn't get from a normal super speed. But still. Like, just give me flash powers. Yuji's the goat, man. What's up, Kaio? They were just asking about you. Or when are we getting the gang back together? When is Inumaki gonna show up? We need him. He's gathering up just boatloads of cough syrup because he knows the moment he says, like, don't kill him to Sukuna, he's just gonna, like, blow out his vocal cords. Yeah, if Inumaki even, like, tells Sukuna to, like, just, like, the most basic word, he might just die. Like, I'm gonna be honest. The Gojo clan literally has nobody. The Gojo clan has Gojo, and, like, do you really need more than Gojo? They have a history of 6 Eyes users. JJK YouTuber Uno streams soon, lads. Yeah, you thought I was just fucking with you when I said that I didn't know what Uno was. And then you told me to Google it. I was like, wow, I can't believe this guy. What's there? There's like there's a website you can do for that where you can, like, Google things for people. Inumaki. Yeah, Inumaki. He ain't doing shit. He says one thing and he dies. Do you really need more than Gojo? Bro got turned to sliced ham. Yeah, we got turned to sliced ham by, like, the Himothy of all hymns. Like, dying to Sukuna is hardly an anti-feat. Yeah, Inumaki. People ask about Inumaki all the time, as if he's not just, like, a worse Yuta. Yuta, like, in the middle of combat, Yuta pulls out his copy and just makes Inumaki's entire life irrelevant. Do you yap because you are quirkless shinobi, or are you quirkless shinobi because you yap? Both. Both are true. Also, given your name is quirkless, what's your thought on My Hero Academia 419? Well, without, like, spoiling it for anybody, my friend years ago, like 7 years ago, said, oh man, that guy's gonna lose his arms one day. And then he just messages me for, like, the first time in years and says, looks like I was right, dude. And, like, he had the receipts and everything for his old theory. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but I mean, Deku is just going to cry for a bit, as he always does. He's going to ugly cry. He's going to drop down on his knees because, well, he literally has to drop down his knees because he has no fucking arms. And he's going to grab, well, I was going to say he's going to clutch his chest, but clearly that is no longer an option. And he's going to ugly cry. And All Might's going to sit on the sidelines, and he will also ugly cry, because that is what My Hero Academia is all about. It's about ugly crying in the middle of combat. If Inumaki tries curse speech on Yuji, he might just die. Yeah, some people are putting Jogo above Yuji still. I saw the other day Alonzi's stream, and like I agree with most of his takes, Alonzi's takes, but like when they were talking about Geto, they had Geto in like the top 15. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I will slander Geto. Like Geto is such a bum. Terrible plan, domainless, RCT-less, Yuji fodder. Good technique, but like Kenjaku is just a better Geto. He's just like a strictly better Geto, and even his cursed spirits were butt cheeks like 99% of the time. This centipede spamming nobody. Why can everyone but Toto lose an arm? Because it seems like Jujutsu Kaisen really is all about people losing their arms. Current Choso solos Geto and bass. Exactly, Kaio. We actually agree on something for once. Actually, we agree all the time, but like usually our disagreements last an hour and our agreements last 5 minutes. So, Choso solos Geto. Like all the post 1 month characters are so goddamn OP. They are nuts. They are nuts OP. They absolutely power cliff like 95% of people. Because they cheated. We don't know what they did. But their scaling just goes so much higher now. Like post 1 month Kusakabe turns Hanami and Jogo into like mincemeat. Like they are no longer the same. This is not the same. Yeah, like those poor disaster curses, the ghetto disrespect. I'm sorry, dude. When you want to live in a post-apocalypse because your plan is to destroy the world's infrastructure, you deserve to be shit on. Remember Yuki. Yuki is still pretty strong. Like her technique's still good. Black Hole is still better than like anything we've seen. Granted, she fucking dies, but that's neither here nor there. That's just a slight little bit of information. As far as I'm concerned, it's just like a one-use technique because, you perish. Geto was the original potential man. Yeah, he was. And Kenjaku was the next potential man, and people talked about all the curse spirits he might use. And then he pulls out his curse spirits, and they both get one shot. Both the cool ones he pulls out get one shot, which is some bullshit, okay? I am not happy with the fact that my man, let me see if I can find it. My man pulls out, like Kaio, if you're still in here. We've talked about this before, that Geto pulls out this like super OP, like god, like a literal god, like God Ganeshka or something from Hindu mythology or Buddhism. This thing. And then it just gets one shot, and then he pulls out like another cool looking curse spirit, and it gets truck cunned. Like, what is that bullshit? And then he pulls out centipedes because he loves to spam centipedes for some reason. And then one more time, he's fighting Takaba. He whips out like what might have been a cool technique. He gets like a whole panel for it. I'm gonna see that chapter. We're going like all in on the curse spirit manipulation slander here. The most important thing curse spirit manipulation ever did in this series was use idle transfiguration and start the culling games, or like awaken the sorcerers. Everything else has been like, oh guys, it'll be OP. Oh, I guess they all got off-screened. Centipedes are what it's all about, because in a world of Jujutsu Kaisen curse spirits, apparently the creativity ends at bugs. Yeah, this thing. Let me pull this one up. When I saw this shit like come out of the leaks, where is it? I had it here somewhere. Did I already lose it? Can't keep track of anything these days. Yeah, this thing was supposed to be a god, and then he pulls out this thing. The special grade rebellion spirit, the pinnacle of our curl. Like, that sounds like it's gonna fuck. But all it happens is it gets run over by a truck dude. It gets Rika'd. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe they just pull out all these cool curse spirits and body his ass. Like, Kenjaku's supposed to be him, and every single curse spirit he pulls out just gets fucking one shot. And then they're like, oh man, I needed the power of Rika to kill the rest of them. Like, what is this? It could have had more god curses. Gege low-key fumbled. Definitely. Like, I don't know what is going on. Like, I just hated him. Kenjaku was really just Brain Man. Yuta is the anti-curse spirit CT user. I mean, that's true. I just wish we got to see the cool ones. Like, Yuta is incredibly powerful. Him 1v1ing a Kenjaku-less curse spirit horde is, like, it makes sense to me. But off-screening all of the strong ones, the potentially strong ones, it just feels worse to me. Not Akura's fault Truck-kun is top 3. I mean, that's true. Okay, he was fighting like the greatest hacks in Jujutsu Kaisen. But at the end of the day, he remains a feetless bum. Curses have horrible defense. Naoya and Hanami seem to be the special exceptions. Oh, I agree. Like, Hanami is the only one that like one of the only ones they repeatedly mention, besides Naoya, like you said, that like have a noteworthy physical strength. Hey man, huge fan, happy to catch a stream. Oh, thank you very much, Obino. Kenjaku pulls out the Gun Devil Curse Spirit while it's over. Could you imagine? Like, some of those devils, dude. Chainsaw Man, like, what is it? They scales way higher, doesn't it? Like, Makima was launching people into orbit with, like, her finger guns. Like a gun curse spirit. That'd be pretty OP. It's like the one curse spirit in America. Like 99% of curse spirits are in Japan, except for this one. It's just a giant gun. Hot take, Chapter 255 Yuji over Hikari and Maki, and Chapter 257 plus mid-diffs at most 1v1s. I don't know if I'd say that, like, I don't know if I'd put Yuji that high right now, but I think Yuji's definitely putting in the most work against Sukuna, by far. I think he put more work in against Sukuna than Yuta did. That's my craziest take. Only because, like, Yuta obviously is stronger, I think, right now, but only because Yuji has these soul punches that are keeping people from getting fucking one shot, and like not dying is pretty good to me. Like, not dying is usually a pretty grand option. The obesity devil is over here too. That's true. The darkness devil souls all of JJK so badly. Yeah, it does kind of just have like some devils are crazy. A gun devil one shot Sukuna easy. The JJK fans versus the reading comprehension devil. Yeah. Weary's Warriors podcast. Don't mention that name here. Especially now when Kaio is present. Soul Punch plus Black Flash is GG. I agree. Like, it should nerf his output tremendously. Like, let's say next chapter we open up and Yuji has Black Flash Sukuna. Sukuna's like, oh my god, my output is butt cheeks. I need to Black Flash to get it back, and they just barrage each other with Black Flashes. Like, they use their Black Flashes over and over, and because Sukuna's output is kind of low, Yuji is able to match his Black Flashes and keep him in check for a bit. I think that'd be cool. Sukuna would lose his smirk real fast again versus the wrong devil. Yeah. Oh, most certainly. Be wary of John Weary. Or is it John Weary? I mean, I don't even read Viz anymore as much. Because, like, all it ever does is have, like, the dumbest translation half the time. And it's, like, legitimately confusing sometimes. Like, it's unnecessarily confusing. I remember the inviolability one, where he's talking about the the limitless technique, and like, yeah, it's correct, but you could have just called it infinity because that, like, everyone in America, like John Weary, I know you're American, or like you're at the very, like you're American, you're Westerner, you speak English, you gotta know everybody calls it infinity. They aren't going to sit in there like, oh, it's the inviolability of Gojo's technique. Like, give me a fucking break. Linguistic terrorism podcast. That is honestly a truly legendary Kyle Breeze quote. Linguistic terrorist. Bro, inviolability was so confusing. I don't think it was necessarily confusing. I just think it's like needlessly, like, it just feels pretentious. I know it is correct. It is correct, but it's like, why not just call it what everybody knows it as? Gojo not being able to use Black Flash, but being able to use Curse Spirit Manipulation is questionable. There are many questionable things in the Viz Media alternative. Really, guys, what the Viz Media Jujutsu Kaisen translation is it is a another universe. It is an alternative take on the series we know as Jujutsu Kaisen. It is Kaisen Jujutsu, a spin-off series. Like, if you've ever watched Breaking Bad, there is the South American spin-off, or like copy of it, known as Metastasis. And that's what Viz Media's Jujutsu Kaisen is. Exaggeration, maybe. But that's how it feels. The narrator would just start gassing John Weary, saying he's bored and has yet to go all out. It's sorcery fight. Yeah, we like Jujutsu Kaisen. They have sorcery fight. He changed Yuki's ability, shaking my head. Metastasis mentioned. Yeah, we're in deep into nerd culture, guys. What can I say? There are many things we can bring up. When Gege finds out about John Weary, someone is getting Black Flash. Yeah, it's a little ridiculous, to be honest, sometimes. But we've been going for about 2 hours. I'm trying to slow it down here in about 10 minutes. But for now, the last thing I want to touch on, since I have totally gone off what we were originally talking about, I think someone mentioned feet in here at some point. Either way, let's talk about Miguel. Let me just get this image up. So, Kaio, if you're still in here, which I doubt you are, but if you are, recently we talked about Miguel potentially being top 5 if he showed a domain counter. Now, unfortunately for Miguel, he knew. Fortunately or unfortunately, Miguel was targeted by Gege Akatame because he was about to completely outscale the verse if he stayed around. So he dipped out. But how strong do we think Miguel is, everybody? Miguel is strong, but low-key may be a fraud. Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like. Like, he bodies disaster curses. His physical stats are OP. But, like, without the black rope, like, him with the black rope was awesome. But, like, his best feat, Miguel's best feat in the entire series is that Gojo says he is physically stronger than him in the short term with no technique. You can't classify him as a fraud yet. I mean, he's totally leaving. He has Miguel, he has LaRue on his shoulder. He's like, see ya, guys. I'm out. But, like, the fact his best feat in the entire series is it's like a statement, it's kind of crazy. Because without that statement, people will just be like, oh, he's strong against Sukuna. Miguel inherited Kusakabe's cowardice after he died. Fraud because he was on Geto's genocide plan and ran away the moment Sukuna hit a Black Flash. To be fair, I would also run away the moment that Sukuna hit a Black Flash. Non-power, though, he's top 5 base to base. Oh, definitely. Like, base to base for sure. Like, in reinforcement or, like, whatever we were talking about. With, because you mentioned something about what Six said the other day. Or the conversation you had with Six. that reinforcement isn't necessarily the same as like your speed and such. But I'm assuming Miguel's got to be fast too. Like he's just overall in base equal to Gojo or ahead of him without a CT in the short term. In the short term is kind of weird though, including CTs base to base. Interesting. He called Sukuna a fraud. That he did. Then he also dipped out. Miguel took 0 damage during his matchup with Sukuna. Yeah, because he like fought him once and then left. He dodged some slashes. Like he did a crazy feat of dodging slashes with his technique, or not with his technique. And then, yeah, I think it was with his technique. And then he left after he watched his buddy get Black Flash. And he was gonna leave. He was gonna leave children to actually die. He just saw a bunch of teenagers fighting desperately, and he's like, well, as the 2 adults here, clearly we must leave. Like, he saved Ui Ui. He's like, I bailed out an 8-year-old, okay? We're gonna be fine. I did my part. Why is he grinning so much when he threw one punch and left? Well, that's simple. It's because he knew the next punch would kill him. Oh, what's up? What's up, Andy? Everyone's in here today, apparently. Why aren't you all watching the eclipse? Well, actually, I guess you guys can't. Ui Ui also took no damage being face-to-face with Sukuna. I mean, to be fair, Ui Ui was about to get, like, fucking annihilated from the universe if it weren't for Miguel. Miguel said, fuck them. Yeah, he did. He's just like, I'm out of here. I've had enough. Miguel over Hikari. Wow, just wow. The Hikari slander of the stream is crazy. It's okay, guys. In 2 days, on Wednesday, at 2 p.m. EST, or actually 3 p.m. EST, I'll be streaming with Jaded, and there will be no Hikari slander, because Jaded will not stand for that shit. It'll be a true Hikari gas stream. I watched and now I'm blind. I did have some glasses for it. But yeah, it's crazy event, guys. Miguel over Hikari. Hikari is a bum. Yeah, it's poor. Hikari could go up at any point. Dude sucks. Okay, now that's just a personal attack. That's not even like going after his technique. Miguel's best feat is being a delivery man for the Riz CT user to make Sukuna get cockeyed in the middle of the fight. The thing with LaRue's CT, Heart Grasp, is actually so unbelievably good. Like, if that charm is working on Sukuna, who is it not working on? It should work on everybody. The guy who, like, Hikari, the guy who's been fighting for like 6 months. Listen, that's what like 6 months our time, guys. He's only on like his 15th jackpot, okay? Sure, the song has been on loop for like 30 minutes at least. But, that being said, he might do something later. Like, he doesn't look too bad. I know Kaio said there was some ice on his shoulder. Y'all switch up who y'all like every week. Wild. Yeah, if it ain't Yuji, they're all on like the chopping block. Longest fight not on panel. I hope it never is. I hope he was just out there for like weeks on end. Hikari's been fighting Urame off screen for over half a year, 20 chapters, with 15 jackpots. It's looking like he's gonna pass out. Nah, dude. You see, that's just because, alright? That's just because he was like about to enter the 16th jackpot. He's hardly even tuckered out. He just knows he can stall Urame forever because he's got that infinite jackpot curse energy. And maybe he just likes the tunes. Yuji's the only character I like. Everyone else is mid. I don't know if I'm that, if I go that far, but I do like Yuji the most. for sure. Yeah, but it'll never work again. Sukuna will be like me having my attention taken. Turns off brain. Yeah, Sukuna, if they grab him with the Heartgrass CT, he'll just say something like, "Oh, I have used curse energy to like anti-riz my heart. You can no longer pull me in that direction." Hakari looks like he's gonna pass out while Urame looks clean as fuck. Not a care in the world. Do another stream with Kaio. Y'all are so funny together. It's because we're the Yap Kings. Are you Kinji Hikari because you're getting stalled by Urame, or are you getting stalled by Urame because you're Kinji Hikari? Listen, you're all gonna switch up one day when Hikari actually shows up to fight Sukuna. He was in that panel, okay? He was there. He was, in fact, there. They showed him. They showed him as one of the people. They gotta keep this guy away from Sukuna. Let me pull it up. They gotta keep this guy away from Sukuna. Can't have it. Hikari's here to me. I've seen these other two guys show up. One more coming. I'm just saying. They wouldn't have him up on the giant panel if he wasn't going to show up. Yes, I will switch up like crazy, but that's neither here nor there. No, it is on Twitter, though. Because that's where it's going to start when you actually switch up. Maybe not here. I can already see the title now. Hikari shows us like Hikari has annihilated. What's the Kaio freeze play? Hikari has annihilated the entirety of Sukuna. Sukuna stands no chance. He's a nobody, a fraud. That's the opening, right? Maki is fraud. Fake heavy hitter. Man, these people fucking hate Hikari. Maki's a fraud. Maki's taken 2 black flashes from Sukuna. Even Sukuna was shocked about the first one. If Urame dies, I'm gonna make a Gege hate video. There's no way you'd make a Gege hate video, Kaio. Maki a fraud, brother. She just ate the black flashes like gummy bears. Like gummy bears, dude. That's just a way of putting it. Sukuna's gonna be on the run from Hikari. He's gonna hear the music, dude. It's gonna be like boss music just starts playing. That's all I'm saying. That's what they're saving Hikari for. If Heavy Weather was here, he'd be preaching the truth. It better go crazy. Those Hikari homies will riot. They're already rioting. Just like not in the direction of Giga at the moment, just in the direction of the haters. Who do you think will use a binding vow again? I mean, if anyone's gonna use a binding vow that's like truly nightmarish, I imagine Yuji would. LaRue has better feats against Sukuna than Hikari, just saying. I mean, you're right, because Hikari hasn't fought him yet. But when Hikari comes in, you'll understand, dude. And honestly, I hope Hikari just like pops in and just confirms himself stronger than Yuta. Just because sometimes, as much as I love Yuta, I also love watching fan bases like utterly crumble. Because I have no loyalties, I will switch up, and I also know that my boy Yuji is safe. Like, I bet on the winning side, and it's always Yuji. But like all the tertiary characters, when they start to lose it, I'm there for it. I would love to see the Yuta fan base crumble. As like Hikari's just confirmed like the strongest of all the heavy hitters, and like Yuta sits there like on the sidelines in a wheelchair, and Yuta says something like, "See guys, I told you he was stronger than me, and I wasn't being I told you he was stronger than me. I was not being humble. I was not being humble at all. Actually, I wasn't even exaggerating as much as I should have been. I was really under delivering just how OP Hikari is." Quirkless plays both sides, so he always comes out on top. Well, you see, guys, everyone called me a Sukuna glazer, but the truth is, Sukuna had to kill Gojo for my Yuji agenda to win. He's just an unnecessary, a unfortunate casualty. What can I say? Gojo is just a victim of the Yuji agenda. Yuji has been my favorite character since I started the anime when it came out. I can never switch up. That's how I feel. Crazy how Kenjaku didn't consider Yuji a heavy hitter while he knows who Yuji is. I think it's because Kenjaku doesn't want to tell anybody. Doesn't want to tell anybody the true power of Yuji. The agenda is always the priority. Yeah, that it is. But like you have to mask your agenda and like 15 other agendas. Keep them always guessing. So some guy with ugly feet is supposed to be the only character that has a theme song in the manga. Wait till Hikari hits the 777. Dude, the 777 is actually like divine intervention for Hikari fans. They're holding on to that desperately. A rainbow jackpot. The only time Crocus was wrong was with Kashimo, but he learned his lesson. Hey, in my defense, Kashimo was the only character that fought, since Gojo, that fought a Sukuna that didn't get nerfed by Yuji's punches whatsoever. That's all I'm saying. And now we know that those punches are nerfing Sukuna to the point that his Black Flash output increase is negated. Kashimo top 5? Anyone? The funniest part was I made a video that got like 100,000 views on that too. When I said like, oh man, their only hope is like Thunder God Kashimo. I had to change the title on that. I forget what I put it as. What did I say? That was a while ago. Oh yes, Thunder God Kashimo is their last hope to defeat Sukuna, but actually no. That was the edit. Yuta just goes in detail on how much stronger everyone is. Yeah, I just want Yuta to sit there and be like, honestly, guys, I'm the weakest heavy hitter. Like, Maki could definitely kill me. Even Toji could have killed me. I looked at a book and I saw this Toji guy, and like I knew he was stronger than me. Rika even said like he's definitely stronger than you, Yuta. And my domain really just carried me. If I didn't have Angel's technique, I would have died years ago. Kashimo's wife will pull up once she finished with Shinobi. Kashimo is mentioned. I'm diffing. Kashimo top 5? Top 3? Kashimo over Yuta? Fought and not nerfed Sukuna? Anyone? Kashimo's Hollow Wicker Basket. He could definitely survive that Yuta domain, right guys? Anyone? Kashimo's just been hiding this whole time. Well, yeah, he's just been like with like a little World War II medikit, and he's been like stitching himself back together. Is your top 5 Sukuna, Gojo, Yorozu, Kenny, Takaba? I think I put my top 5 as Sukuna, Gojo, Takaba, because you don't really beat Takaba unless you absolutely... I'll put him in there just for hacks. Yorozu... I don't really know what my top 5 is, honestly, outside of those 3, because I haven't done the actual scaling chains on them for a long time. I haven't, like, really delved deep into, like, actually trying to find out where these characters are over each other. Because the easiest part, except for, like, Yuji... Like, I'm more so focused on the characters we're currently looking at in the story. Like, number 1, Sukuna. Number 2, Gojo. Like, that's so easy. Number 3, Takaba, due to hacks. And then, like, number 4, Yuta. But I think you could put number 3 as Yuta if you really want to. Mainly because Yuta is just, Like he's more generically strong, if that makes sense. Like he doesn't rely on hacks. I mean, he does have hacks, but like not the same. Because if you properly bully Takaba, Takaba just loses. Like he's the hacks king, so it's kind of hard. Like if we just look at him from how he is portrayed, he does kind of just win, unless he decides not to. And I agree with you, Kaio, that I would agree with it. Like as a standard list, Sukuna, Gojo, Yuta, Yorozu, Kenjaku. That sounds pretty right. Kashimo, if he had domain, would be number 3. Yeah, Yorozu's crazy. Like her sure hit. All I'm saying is, if Gojo or Sukuna, like if Gojo had this sure hit of Urame, he would have just not Urame, excuse me, Yorozu. He would have killed Sukuna. That's for sure. Would have killed him instantly. He would just like obliterated him. Assuming he didn't want to kill Megumi. Or he was fine with killing Megumi. Number 3 is Toji. Yeah, definitely. Definitely Toji, guys. Saying number 3 is Toji is completely insane. Tell him, Moses. Yeah, number 3 ain't Toji. I don't even know if I'd put... Oh, I can't even say this. I don't know if I put Toji in, like, top 10 anymore. Actually, yeah, I would. I definitely would, because Maki's, like, crazy. I still think Maki and Toji are, like, equivalent, though. Mainly because there's nothing really stated by Maki that, like, she got stronger. It's like, she's been treated as strong by Sukuna, like, prior to the whole time skip, and then she comes back, and she's still strong. I mean, she probably is stronger than him. Like, I mean, that would make sense to me, but I don't really know how, and until they tell us how, I'll headcanon it that, like, they're still equivalent or something. But she definitely has the better feats. Like, if you just want to go to feats, that makes sense to me. Toji number 1 in my head. Toji looks just like Megumi. I wonder if Toji was as much of a wimp when he was like a teenager as Megumi is, though. Maki has only proved that heavenly restriction users are black flash magnets. Real and true. You think Maki has the best feats? I do think she has the best feats over Oh god, I see what you're saying. Never mind. Trying to shenanigan me here, but with the feats of Maki, yeah, I think they are over Toji's. I mean, they're undeniably over Toji's. Toji, like, what? Just got rocked, pretty much. Igege just recently reiterated they're equal. Is that true? I mean, it makes sense if it is. Maki 100% has better feats for being real. Well, yeah, because she's been alive in the story longer. See, this is what you've done to my chat, Tiberius. Toji doesn't bathe. That's true. What was it that Kaio called him? This you went off at one point. You called him you said his stench would keep away Gojo. He'd be so smelly that Gojo wouldn't want to fight him. Maki the sandbag really can't just dodge even when she can dodge Mach 3. That's because Sukuna's faster than Mach 3. Or are you wrong? I mean, I don't know. We've never seen, like, a weaponized Smelly Toji, so... like, remains to be seen. Give Kashima RCT so that his body Doesn't break, and he's easily number 3. Yeah, you'd think if you're Cosmo, like, you try to learn RCT at some point. Like, how hard could RCT really be, guys? How hard could it be? Like, I mean, I thought Shoko did a pretty good job at saying it was like a buzz, whoop, schwap, or something like that. That sounds pretty easy to me. It's basically just the sound effects for an NES game. Stop the hate. Where is it stated he doesn't bathe? One look at Toji, and you can tell he hasn't showered in months. I can smell him through the screen and the page. Like you know that like that fresh printed smell of like a piece of paper from a copying machine. Like when that piece of paper is Toji, something's just not quite right. Bro is fighting sushi and smells worse. Dagon smells better than Toji, confirmed. That's what this stream is. That's what every stream becomes 2 hours in. We're talking about the dastardly smell of Toji Fushiguro. He has the part. Damn, he just ruins it. Yeah. Yeah, he does. Never copy an image of Toji. How it feels hating on Toji. Now, I can't wait for, like, someone to just completely miss the point that, like, we're obviously joking, kind of, and write, like, a 4-paragraph essay, or I should say, like a 16-paragraph essay for me, in my comments, about why Toji is actually not smelly, and I should learn to respect him. And he actually is top 3, because you see, he's, like, super strong, and, like, handsome in things. Because that seems to be, like, occasionally you do get that comment that, like, I don't know what's up with the person. But they're like, oh man, don't you realize, dumbass, that, like, Toji's actually hot, and he has, like, knives and stuff. And he can use that to, like, completely obliterate Sukuna. And if they ever met, well, clearly, it ain't even close. I love the way it feels to be a hater. I like how everyone's just here to hate on Toji. Raging with Class, Super Chats. I think the slits under Yuji's eyes are definitely another set. Benevolent Shrine. Maybe they will be. And thanks for the Super Chat, Raging. $10 is a lot. Gojo can only fight because the infinity blocks the smell. Holy fuck, guys. We're actually in it now. That is crazy. The infinity blocks Toji's scent, dude. Another reason Gojo is the greatest sorcerer of the modern era. Only he can contend with Toji's stench. I hate him because he kills teenagers in cold blood for gambling money. Well, first of all, it might have in his defense, Rico is like incredibly annoying, and was going to turn into like the Tengen merger thing, or get merged with Tengen. Like it's not like he was sitting there. Like he had a gun. Okay, he walked in, and she was like, "Okay, let's go home. I'm with you, Ghetto." And he pulled out that gun, and he went bang. But, like, it's like he listened to the conversation. Okay, he had, like, the earplugs in, clearly. Yeah, I always thought Rico was, like, incredibly annoying. Like, obviously, Rico is a fictional character, so I can laugh at it as much as I want, but Rico is an incredibly annoying character that I did not like. Like, the most generic, obnoxious anime girl. That was my friend absolutely loves hidden inventory when Toji shows up. He loves Toji. Because Toji, he hated Gojo, he hated Geto, and he hated Rico. So when Toji shows up and just starts bodying their ass, he was like, this is the best part of the whole series. Like, finally, he's culling the boring. But then he got, like, Hollow Purple. And he's like, that's some bullshit. He just pulled out, like, a shotgun. Rico slander. Rico is the goat. She just wanted to live. Rico feels like she was made for like that particular demographic of anime fans that I'm not a part of. Toji hates yapping. Oh, I'm dead to Toji 100%. Doesn't mean I can't like respect the man and his like. I mean, I guess there's not a whole lot to respect about Toji, other than like he's pretty strong. Y'all hate Toji but love a character that massacred a whole village? Yeah, Geto is way worse than Toji. Way worse. Like, Geto, at the end of his life, he's like, let him know, Gojo. Tell him that I hate them monkeys. I hate them. Tell him. And Gojo's like, holy fuck. I mean, yeah, man. You were my best friend. My one and only. And Yuta walked over and was like, man, what did you say to him? What did he say before he died? Nothing. He said he understood the error of his ways. Yeah, doubling down on hating monkeys is kind of just the worst. Like, you have solidified yourself as a shithead. Bro, that's so wild, man. She's just an innocent person put to death at a young age. How can you guys not sympathize with that? Well, because Rico's not real, and it's also anime. And she was really annoying. If it was like an actual person, that's totally different, but... I can empathize with the plight, but like it's also... Even the anime knew that like how goofy it was where Toji comes into the gun because they did like the actually diabolical... The diabolical thing of having him... of having him go in with like the music playing. And then he just cut the music off with his shot. Worse than death, to be honest. She'd be trapped in Tengen for hundreds of years. Okay, you may be correct, Kaio. It may be like a quote-unquote fate worse than death, but all the other Star Plaza vessels did it. And I know that she says that, like, I can still hear them, or that she can't hear them. I should say Tengen cannot hear the Star Plaza vessels, so it actually sounds worse. It sounds worse. Kurfos hates anime and like high school anime. I do hate high school anime. It's true. Unless it's like Hogwarts, apparently. But yeah, I will say Tengen telling everybody that like, oh, I can't even hear them. It just makes it sound like all the Star Plaza vessels are sitting there like horrifically screaming in the void for eternity. That sounds pretty bad to me. So like maybe I can empathize with that being an unwanted fate. But the anime still made Riko's death like way funnier than it should be. And maybe I'm just fucked up for that, but like the whole music cutting out was just like I don't know operators with me on this one. They trapped in there. China Dolls gifted 10 memberships. I don't know if this would be the time to gift 10 memberships. That's what we're talking about Rico dying, but thank you very much, China, for the Tengen lied to save face. Seriously, actually W for sending out 10 memberships. You are the sole proprietor of Quirk Shinobi memberships on this channel, it seems like. And like everywhere. Honestly, legendary supporter among Jujutsu Kaisen YouTubers. Kaio and Quirkless, what do you think happens when Yuji's punches completely give Megumi's soul the control? Absolutely, Megumi just comes back, I imagine. The question is, how would Sukuna get another body if he does escape? Like, what's he gonna do? Just, like, run over to Urame and just steal them? Because, like, Urame is gonna be like, yes, please, bury my soul. Absolutely. He's gonna, like, have, like, a three-way incarnation or something, or maybe Urame is already in her original body. Sounds like that immortality technique. Maybe Urame never died. Maybe Urame just froze themselves in ice like Eric Cartman to like get to the modern era. Just like, Kenjaku, wake me up when we're there. Will this be a VOD? Yeah, it should be. I'm not sure how people feel about the Rico. This is the second stream in a row I've talked about Rico getting shot and how, like, the music was funny. So, sure, why not? We'll leave it up. Sukuna with ice hacks would be scary. Can we get back on track? We were talking about how Toji's body odor low diffs the murder creature. What if Sukuna is just holding onto baby Tengen to create a vessel? Gassing teenage girls getting shot in the head. Shake my... That's not what I said, Kaio. I just said that, like, Riko was annoying. I didn't say I wanted her to die in the series of Jujutsu Kaisen. I didn't say that at all. I just said that, like, the music cutting out was kind of funny. Quirkless, more like emotionless. Don't forget, Kaio, you are the one who said you like the culture of the Viltrumites. That is on VOD. Are the allegations true? I've never been a big fan of hidden inventory. Bro really cheered as she got shot. Who said I cheered? Okay, these are allegations that I will not stand for. I didn't say... I may have laughed because the music cutting out was funny, but I didn't like, get out of my chair and, like... Toji missed the shot. So who will be Sukuna's next vessel? That is the big question. Kaio, why did you start the Toji hate? I won't forget this, because Kaio hates Toji. He's laughing thinking about it. Yeah, the most emotion you get out of me is me thinking back to, like, Riko getting shot by Toji. Holy fuck. Alright, that's the end of my YouTuber. That's the end of my YouTube, guys. Sorry. Quirkless with the receipts. Yeah, remember that, Kaio, when you said, man, I really like Viltrumites. They were like, oh yeah, Viltrumites are pretty cool. And you're like, no. You doubled down. You're like, no. I like their culture. I'm like, you mean the genocidal culture of alien terrorists? Like... Sukuna gonna reincarnate in Inumaki. Yeah, you guys think Inumaki has strength of will to, like, resist Sukuna? And he just, like, takes this, like, 5'2" Japanese kid, just turns him to a 4 foot, like a 7 foot tall behemoth demon man. That was AI, Kaio Breeze. He didn't say that. That's true, guys. The allegations. The Viltrumite allegations. Honestly, Terrell low diffs Alan. Chill out on Alan. Alan the alien is him. Jamaica Queens has gifted 5 memberships. Wow, the support today is crazy. Thank you very much. I see you in here all the time, Jamaica. A legendary supporter as well. And just commenter. Yuta/Rika can see the Sukuna finger, so that's a possibility. 5 for Toji. AI Kaio. Yeah, one day, just wait, guys. Just wait until, like, the next Logan Paul scam. And he's like, that was just AI, guys. That wasn't me. AI is getting crazy. Alan is no joke. No, Alan is honestly crazy. Alan is Seth Rogen. Honestly, him being Seth Rogen makes him way better. Me and my homies cheered when Rico died. That's fucking savage. Kaio being a Viltrumite fan is crazy. Hey, I never said I didn't agree. I may not be a fan of their culture, but, like, Omni-Man's pretty cool. In, like, that, like, detached way. Yuji soul swaps with Sukuna. Megumi is now in Yuji's body. Yuji in Sukuna's body kills himself. I hope so. Like, well, I don't hope that Yuji dies, but I hope they do find like a different way to beat Sukuna than just beating him in fist. I didn't realize it was Seth Rogen. You didn't realize that Alan the Alien was Seth Rogen? That's like the best part of him. You like bugs like Ani Man? No, I can't say personally I would take on my bug wife like Omni Man. I don't feel like speed running like the family life with on a bug planet. That's not my thing. But Omni Man was definitely Quirkless. Wait, hold on, Kai. I see allegations here. Quirkless supports teenage girls getting shot in space genocide. Cancel this man. Hey, you're the one who brought up space genocide with the Viltrumites. That wasn't me. Okay, I just talked about Alan the Alien, and perhaps maybe the things you said. And I don't support Rico dying. Okay, guys, let's put it out here for the people. I am not in support of Rico Amani's death. Rico was an innocent in all of this. Okay, maybe I forgot how horrific the Tengen the Tengen death was. All right, it wasn't that like it's pretty awful. Death by Tengen is worse. I just think it was kind of funny how maybe the music was a little upbeat and then it immediately canceled out instantaneously because, the unfortunate bullet. That's an insane deflect. Yeah, I should have dragged you on stream, Kaya, so you could argue your Viltrumite stance in person. Or verbally. Someone played the clip where he laughed thinking about her getting shot. I may or may not. Listen, no operator made a whole Twitter post that was just like, that shit was diabolically funny. At least he agrees with me. Toby Rama is my favorite character. Do you read or watch? Oh, let's see. Do you read or watch Invincible? Absolutely. I've read it and I've watched it. Great show. I was actually going to make a video on it, but currently Jujutsu Kaisen takes priority. Though Jujutsu Kaisen is ending pretty soon, and I'll have to see what I want to do on this channel. I doubt, I don't know if people want to hear me talk about things about Jujutsu Kaisen. Not that it really matters that much, but I will talk about Invincible at some point. Like right now. A Toby Rama stan is different. Okay, yeah, Toby Rama stan is like actually diabolical, Kaio. That's worse. Toby Rama had like a generational hate of Uchiha. He came back to life and he's like, ugh, they're still around. Geto was spitting in JJK's room. Quirk was probably, all I do is shit on Geto. What do you mean? Geto wanted to live in like a post-apocalyptic commune because he destroyed the entire world's infrastructure. I think I have about 30 chapters from Invincible left. I think the animated series is way better than the comic, personally. Every time Gege is on break, we get some Invincible content. Yeah, I still have to finish my Yuji and Megumi video. I still want to talk about that because it seems like Megumi has a lot of allegations against him. Toby Rama versus Geto. Who was more racist? Well, one of them, definitely Geto. Low-key Geto? I don't know. I don't know if it's a low-key, Kaio. I'm going to be honest. I think it might be very high-key. Because Geto did kind of want to, like, take out 99% of the planet. That's a little worse than, like, one clan is bad. But, like, even Toby Rama could suffer the Uchiha. Like, he could suffer his own racism for the Uchiha. But Geto is like, we cannot suffer these monkeys any longer. They must perish. And, like, Geto's Hashirama was Gojo. But Gojo just kind of like Gojo is like if Hashirama let Tobirama just like go around killing random Uchiha occasionally. Tobirama came back after 5 generations, and the first thing he did while back was be racist. I mean, considering the last thing Geto did when he died was be racist, I'm pretty sure if you bring him back, he's going to be right back on that same boat. Geto immediately offing his parents. I respect the hustle. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude. That isn't racism for Geto, it's discrimination. I guess it depends. Yeah, I guess that non-sorcerers aren't like literally a race, but like it's still ridiculous. It's genocide at the end of the day. And Geto was like on the global kill them all plan, like zero IQ plan. Who was it? It was Luca Levi that made a great video on this. The zero IQ plan of Geto. PowerPoint, man. Yes, the Geto zero IQ plan was a catastrophe. It was. It was truly. It was a horrific plan. Now, don't say Sukuna is like Madara, because that'd be disrespectful to the ghost of the Uchiha. Yeah, Madara had some end goals that were like kind of like. I mean, he was definitely evil. He's definitely incredibly evil, but he had some goals that weren't horrific. I mean, the methods were horrific, which is usually the sign of you being an awful person. but actually, I guess there's really no excusing Madara, is there? But he had more emotion than Sukuna, who's just like out here killing people for fun. Madara was clinical. Yeah, he was. Pretty crazy. Crazy guy. I love Luca Levi. Yeah, Luca Levi is great. Pretty smart guy. Madara was such a loser, he wanted to make a world where everyone is a winner and there are no losers. Like, he wanted to put them all in the the chakra coffin matrix. Forever second to Hashirama. And so it's like, what do you think Madara's perfect world would even look like? Yeah, their plan was pretty dog shit. Like, the whole, oh, you get put into like an eternal Tsukiyomi. Let's get back on track. Super chat from Tiberius. Thanks, man. What 3 characters would you choose to highlight Gege's character writing? Yuji Itadori, Gojo, and Megumi. I'd probably put Sukuna in there too, depending on how it goes. You think Choso? I can see it. I feel like with LaRue, it was like... Wait, remember when Yuki said to Choso? Oh, live as a cursed spirit. Like, you lived as a cursed spirit, but now live as a human. I guess Geto told LaRue, you lived as a Geto Glazer, now live as a Sukuna Black Flash victim. Or I guess at this point, he kind of is the Clutch King. But I've been going for like 2 hours, guys. Clip whatever you want out of the stream. You know how it is. I've definitely said some things, perhaps some things about Rico again. Second stream in a row. But thanks for showing up, everyone. I can hear Quirkless PC fans. They are going crazy. Actually, no, those are not my fans. That is the person next door is doing some chainsawing. Clip all the Rico clips. Yep, clip all the Rico clips. Did you guys know that Kuroko Shinobi is in favor of Rico death? I'll clip all the Toji smelly bum clips. Thanks for watching, though. I'm just probably end it here because my voice is getting crazy tired. Was a fun stream. It was. Take it easy, Kaio. We'll have to do that Uno later. For sure. Alright, guys. And for everyone else who super chatted, thank you. Yeah, it was a pretty long stream, longer stream than I intended. I will be live with Jaded Wednesday, so I look forward to that. I'll probably put the schedule out for that immediately after this one. And there will be a video out within this week at some point. Should be. You know, it's always questionable, but take it easy. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the super chat.